Hello and welcome, everybody. We're going to get into it. Holy mackerel. It is time for some Satisfactory Update 5. Oh, man, they got so much stuff. This made a grown man cry, everybody. I was watching the video on Satisfactory and what's new on it. Oh, my gosh. I went, oh! Literally all the stuff I've been waiting for years. And Can Duster, Coast to Coast, thank you very much for the follows as well. All the stuff that they've added over the years, the trains are among my favorite, and now they've added a signal system. Let me just kind of hit some of the highlights that we're going to check out in this new playthrough here on the experimental build. Let me just go ahead, just a small sample. There's a lot of stuff they've changed, but first they've added signs. Now, who hasn't wanted signs forever? I have. They've added signs. They've added a customizer. So instead of using the gun, where you normally, like when I color in the foundations, all that stuff, you no longer use the gun. What you do is you actually go in and customize the item, and you can paint over a whole bunch of items. So you don't have to make, stuff to paint. You don't have to make paint to paint stuff. You can automatically just do it as you go along. So the customizer, you have different materials, so you can put concrete or wood or whatever. You can do that as well. You can adjust the colors as well. They've also done a build system change where you can set them up faster let's see. And it tells you like the rate at which you're getting it on your vehicles and all of that. I'm actually going to play and use vehicles this time because we want to see the changes and see if it's very viable early game. Later game, you're going to be using trains usually because the trains are the fastest vehicle in the game. So there you go. Now, they also add another thing called soft and hard clearance. Now, hard clearance is when you're putting like two factory items together, right? You're putting those together. But some items, like a great thing is like the space elevator, has all this empty space in there, right? And you can't normally put anything there because it won't let you do it. But if you want to run a conveyor around it in a circle, if you want, you can do that now because they have soft clearance on things like conveyors and pipes and things like that. So you can create more unique stuff. And you can even clip through stuff if you want. You know, I'm not going to, but you could because I hate clipping. Only in the most extreme circumstances do I clip at all. But I love the fact that you can fill in that empty space that you could be utilizing for more stuff. Maybe even like storages or things like that. I don't know if you can do storages soft clearance. I would think that would be a hard clearance item. But that's what we're going to check out. They also have quick switching. Very much reminds me of what they added in No Man's Sky, right? Where you can just hit E and you can switch between different items. So if you put something down, you're like, okay, I need one of these. And you hit E and you get the other one. And then you don't have to keep going in and out of the menu, which is awesome. By the way, a lot of the stuff you can also program to your keys down at the bottom. They also have zooping, where you grab something and you're like, and you make a whole bunch of those in a row. That's probably my favorite new feature other than signs. Because I've been waiting for signs forever because I want to sign everything. So I know what's what with what. New cosmetic build pieces as well. So they got different beams and windows and walls. And if you saw the Twitter thing that I set out right there, that is just awesome. You just know all these creative things that you can do now with all those new pieces and new items. And that's the thing I like about Satisfactory. The ability for it to add more and more stuff over a long period of time. It hasn't even released yet. This game is an 11 out of 10. My highest rated game I've ever played here on the stream. An 11 out of 10, and it's still in early access. That's what really stuns me. This is better than some games that have been out for 10 years in early access. And it's been out for several years in early access, but they're doing a really fantastic job. Now, the trains, which you can see coming in and out of there, they've added a signal system. They've added where your trains collide now, so no more. Now, I don't know if they collide with you, though. So we're going to see if it runs me over. We're going to try that. A bunch of automation systems, especially to do with the vehicles, to make the vehicles more viable. Because one of the problems with the vehicles is they'll get stuck. They'll run out of fuel. I did notice that they said that it will only grab enough fuel now to get there and get back, and then refuel itself again. Which is great because sometimes what it does is it doesn't grab enough fuel and it goes all the way out there and then it runs out of fuel and then before it gets back. And then you have to go halfway. I've done that many times when I was first testing the vehicles, is I'd have to go halfway out there, find it, put some fuel in it, and then get it going back again. It's also going to tell the rate at which it's collecting that so you can add another vehicle. You can save the paths of your vehicles and then copy those paths onto another vehicle, so you can just add another vehicle to the rotation of the vehicles. Oh man, I can't wait to try all of that stuff. That stuff sounds awesome. Now they did change a bunch of stuff. Also, they changed the Northern Forest, which we're gonna, instead of starting in the forest where we started the other one, we're gonna try the Northern Forest and also the dunes. We're gonna check out both of those. And it's got a major facelift in the Northern Forest, so I want to take a look at that. By the way, the Northern Forest is the advanced area where you start with pure nodes, so that's going to be fun. We're going to try that out. Though I love the Dune Desert. The Dune Desert is actually a really fun place to start. A lot of cool stuff out there as well. But they've got just kind of did a little bit of work on the Dune Desert, but they've done a lot of work on the Northern Forest. So we're definitely going to try the Northern Forest first and try that out and take a look and see how it goes. There you go. And also they've been revamping a lot of the caves. They didn't do all the caves, but they did a good amount of them. So you got a real atmospheric feel when you go in the caves. I rarely go in the caves because I don't want to spoil all that stuff. I want to get that going on. Now, one of the things that we have been waiting on forever, and I have already contacted the epic people over at Nitrado, who are my server host, who are amazing over there, and that is to get us a dedicated server. So they did come out with dedicated servers. Finally, we're so excited about it, but it is experimental. It will probably crash and die and do all the sorts of random stuff while they're still working on it. So that's also an experimental as well. So I've contacted them, and the second they said they can set that up, they will set me up. I want server number 1, everybody. Just like Astroneer. I want server number 1. I want it set up right now. And then we can all play together on a dedicated server that I can leave up 24/7, and everybody can get in, and we can work on different stuff and different parts of the factory and all of that. Oh, that's what I've been waiting for on this game. Pretty awesome. And they also did add some more music and whatnot. So we're going to go in and we're going to try out all of these different features, but we're going to start a brand new game so I can show you how to get started in the game and whatnot, and a little bit of the features as well. Now, the first thing you're going to need to do is choose your session type down here, friends only or private. I'm just going to do a private playthrough for right now. We're going to eventually set up a server, and then we'll play a group play and whatnot. I don't like to skip the intro. I love the intro. And session name is Forest Tester. Let's call it that. Forest Tester. Oh, I guess we're starting. I didn't click which one I'm starting in. Oops. Okay, hold on. My bad. I didn't see which one we're doing. I don't know. I might have chose the first one. Let's just get out of there. Okay. Now I can go into load. Kismet in the woods. Old desert. Wow, it remembers all my old things. Look at that. It remembers all my stuff. Alright, let's try a new game again. Oh, server manager. Ooh, look, you got a server manager in there now, too. I just saw that. That's new. Neato. Okay, new game. Okay, let's actually choose the correct one. Now, we're going to choose Northern Forest here. Now, Northern Forest is for experienced players and whatnot. I played all of these multiple times, everybody. It's very, very fun. So we're going to say Northern Forest right there. And we're going to call it Test and Forest. Forest. There we go. Now that we've chosen the Northern Forest, and we do start game. Otherwise, it's going to default to the standard forest. Now, I think they still need to go back, and we'll do that battle here in a second. I still think they need to go back and revamp the original forest because it doesn't have any water nearby. So you really have to go and find the water. The funny thing is the desert one has more water than the forest one does because it was built about the time that the water was added. All right, let's watch the intro here. Let me fix my little lumbar support here.
The following instructional video is a summary of your impending duties as an exoplanetary pioneer for Fixit Incorporated. Fixit pioneers have 3 cyclical assigned pillars of work to ultimately accomplish project assembly. Use provided blueprints to build the necessary buildings. Chart the planet and gather resources to provide desired results and improve your infrastructure. Make sure to report any unusual discoveries to R&D for analysis.
That's me right there.
Expand your factories, outposts, and pipelines through automation and augmentation. That's it. Get to work and be effective.
All right, now you know the whole story of this game. The story of this game is you're working for a giant corporation called Fixit, Space Corporation, and they're sending you down to exploit the resources.
2, 1. Planetfall procedure initialized.
Love how there's like a little Fixit chart over here.
Planetfall complete. Please ensure the integrity of your multi-purpose exploration suit is at 100%. Remember, efficiency first. Godspeed.
I've coined my own term for this game now. I love this game so zoopin' much. This game is so good, everybody. So good. I like how they got like storage over there, storage over here. They really thought that out. There's like a little chart over there that says something. I've never really looked at that chart really close. But Ada here is going to help us out. Now, the first thing you want to do, pick up some leaves, everybody. Press E to pick up them leaves. There we go. Now, she's going to talk us through here. Or not. Let me go ahead and go to my options here and see if it's a audio thing. I've got the music off, dialogue volume all the way up. There we go. My dialogue volume was all the way down. I don't know why my dialogue was all the way down, even though I could hear the thing. I love the start of this game where it talks a bit about how to play the game and get into it and all of that. It's really, really good. So what we do is we go around and we collect a whole bunch of this random bushes on the ground. Everybody just hit E a lot. Grab them bushes. You're going to need them bushes. Believe me, you're going to need a whole lot of it. And then what we want to do is hit F and dismantle.
All important Fixit data and communication is recorded and stored in the codex, including these steps.
Okay. Let us know. Hit O to open the codex. Right there. And you can look at different parts and different things you want to build and all of that in there. And also,
second objective. Please ensure you have your Fixit Incorporated Xenozapper equipped before leaving the drop zone. Note: according to Fixit regulations, every pioneer should have access to a means of defense against extraterrestrial threats. Third objective. Please familiarize yourself with the resource scanner to find iron. Note: the acquisition of iron is considered essential in preparation for all future objectives.
you're so smart, Ada. That's why I love you. I'm in love with an AI, everybody. I'm not afraid to say so. Exploit the resources and utilize those max resources. You know it. You're going to know I'm going to go all in. Okay, so now we got to do our scanner. So we hold down V to scan the nodes. We'll currently only have one node we can scan, so it doesn't matter where you aim it. And then, bam! Oh, there we go. 428 in that direction. Now, let's do this battle real quick before we really get into it, and we'll come right back. To battle! All right, how we looking over here on this battle? 40 units. All right, now we're stepping it up. I'm going to fast run these guys so they can run up and try and take out these houses while we go ahead and tank the most of it down here. There we go. Run up there and get them. There we go. Get those houses. Oh, look, and our peeps over here can run away fast, too. Now this one's tough because a Dukin, look at that, with that big old fireball. What kind of character you got there? Firesight Bomber. Wow. Letting the bomb go. Now, of course, I also gave them a boost to their speed there. And that's good because they're keeping them busy over here while we're wiping this one out, this generator. Doing a great job there. Wow, the real Remar doing a great job. Getting those kills, man. Oh, no! We got him! But definitely got tons of kills from that. Couple more mobs and we out of here. Now, this one here is like a randomizer. So it'll randomize the actual battle that we do. Oh, there we go. Get a bunch of kills and stuff. Grant some rewards. Let's see. Going to TARDIS. Reaper getting some love. And the real Renmar coming in with 25 kills. Great job, man. That was a great unit you put down there. I'd like you to put down 6 total units, though. So you can get more loot in the end. And everybody can get more loot. The more units put down, the more loot I'm able to give to you guys. Let's do it. Now, actually, I've been seeing that if we stayed in the center, we keep getting owned. So I'm going to actually just do it down below the center here and make them come to us. Right, make them come to us. If we stay together, I think we're going to win that one and keep it on. All right, now since I scanned it, it has gone away, so we'll scan it again here. There we go, 426 in this direction. Now, I've already played this area, so I know what's over here. But we'll go ahead and just kind of grab stuff as we go. I highly recommend right out of the gate, you're grabbing wood, you're grabbing all of these petals, and all of this stuff. Watch out for any baddies that might get in your way. But basically just run toward the iron to get started. Now this is actually one of my favorite spots to start. Oh, I heard a dude somewhere. We got to scan again. I heard a dude. Whoop. Whoa, that's a long way down right there. Whoa, help. Oh, that's my spot off the top rope. I built a base here, and I went off the top rope and drove my little vehicle right in there, and I actually made it in there and survived. It was amazing. Incredibly lucky that I survived that. I remember that a long time ago. It's one of the highlights of my stream. All right, let's keep going. No, what is a Volkswagen out here? Pass it up. No, it just went away. 154 this way. All right. So we're just going to keep on going and try to find our way to this nearest node. Now, you're going to find something pretty awesome about this node, though. And we're going to have new pieces to try out and the awesome zooping feature to try that out. And I suggest grab every single thing that you can find before you get to the promised land. Reminds me very much of the game I really love called Goddess. Whoa, really? Straight up blue slug to start the gameplay off? Wow, that was pretty nice. Surprised there's no mobs up here. Now, right down here, you're going to see that they actually they made this into a desert. Was that a desert before? I don't remember that being a desert. But then again, I covered the whole entire thing up with a ginormous factory, so I don't remember. All right, so let's go ahead and jump down. Try not to take any damage if we can. See, you can see I've got a little bit of practice. We want to go ahead and grab all the stuff in this area here. Grab as much as you can possibly stand grabbing, everybody. And I go around and I try to get as much as I can possibly grab. Now, some of this I can't grab without an item we're going to need later. And this is one of the greatest spots to start in the game. Now, this is not, you know, your mama's starting point, because look at how you're kind of enclosed here, right? You're in kind of like a rounded area. You got to build very vertically here, as opposed to building very horizontally in most areas. But the thing that you're going to find, and let's go ahead and see if it still is true. We're going to work our way through here. The thing you're going to find right here is a pure node, right? So that's a pure node. We'll get to those mobs in a second. And then over here, on this side, you guessed it, that's right, another pure node. And you know what's over there? Pure node. And you know what's up there? Pure node. And you know what's around the corner down the hill over that way? Right over there? Pure node. That's right, these are all pure nodes in one spot right here at the starter zone of the third thing, or the northern forest. And I can see that I feel like they've gone in here and made this desert instead of grass. And I don't know what else they added over here. So again, in the top side of the map here, they said they made it more lush and whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and try from over here. We're going to look around and see what they've changed and what's new. And I'm going to give you a bit of an intro on how to start really well in Satisfactory here. Now, the first thing we need to do, of course, is establish our basics, right? Our basics are going to be trying to find the node and then gathering some from it. Now, we might as well start off with a little bit of a battle here since we are at full health. And let's get it going on. Come on, little suckers. Now, there's always one that tries to spin around behind you, and you go, where'd the second one go? Where'd the third one go? There's another one somewhere. There he is. There we go. Not my best work, but we didn't die, so that's good. Now, these things that are on the top, I call them caps. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and hold down E.
Fourth objective.
We will.
Note: to complete this objective, the resources salvaged from the drop pod will be consumed. Caution.
Okay.
Ensure the hub is built on spacious open terrain close to the presence of iron sources. Failure to do so will likely result in non-optimal progress.
Okay. Now, last time I put my hub in there, but I think I'm going to put my hub out here because it looks like they definitely flattened this area. And they brought that up a bit. I thought there was a really deep depression there before, but it looked like they brought that up. Or maybe it was like that before. I don't remember. I don't remember. That was a long time ago that I did that playthrough. And I probably still have that playthrough, by the way. I could probably pull it up. But let's go ahead and get to it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with our basics down here at the bottom. You can see we've got some stuff unlocked there. I noticed that we only have 4 currently being used. You can use up to 10. The first thing we're going to do is our hub. Now, there's no reason to put your hub on the stuff there. And this is, in the beginning of the game, all the stuff should be just temporary, everybody. You're just kind of starting off with some temporary stuff. And I'm going to put my hub right there. All right. Now, we got our standard hub where we can go ahead and look in here and see what our progress is.
Congratulations. You have unlocked Hub Feature Manual Craft Bench. Hub Feature Hub Terminal. Fifth objective, complete Hub Upgrade 1. Note: the craft bench and hub terminal are essential for progression to the next objective.
All right. I love that tutorial. I've heard it 100 times, and I love it every single time. It's so well done. I hope they add even more dialogue later game and things that you can discover in storyline and things like that eventually. But right now, they've added a bunch of cool stuff to the game, and we're just starting off at the basics. So, first thing you want to do is get your hub down, obviously. Then we need to craft some various different parts. Now, we collected some iron and a whole bunch of other stuff we're going to use later. And so we're just going to start with our basics. We're going to create some iron ingots. Now, you can also, instead of holding down the mouse button, you can hold down the space bar. So you can see I got my mouse hand up here. Oh, so you see that shadow go by in the distance? Something's moving around over there. What was that shadow thing? Oh, it was flying. It's flying way up there in the sky. I'm surprised Fred isn't always already over here. Now, one of the things they do is they put mobs by these portals, or by the nodes, I mean. So whenever you go to get a node, just assume there's mobs there that you have to fight off. All right, so we got that done. What's the first upgrade here? What do we need to do? We need to make some iron rods. And what we're going to do is get our equipment workshop, our portable miner, and some more inventory slots. If we look at our inventory right now, pretty pitiful. Pretty pitiful, so we can do that. So we just make some manually. We make some iron ingots, and then we make some iron rods. Right here, iron rods are one of those things that are actually more efficient to make in there than it is for the machine to make it. But we're going to go ahead and get it going on. Double click, upgrade. And there we go. So now we've upgraded our thing a little bit. And we've got our nice...
You have unlocked Building Workshop, Equipment Portable Miner, Inventory Additional Slots, Hub Feature Personal Storage.
Okay, so now we've got the personal storage.
Hub Upgrade 2. Note: portable miners require no power and will mine a node until their inventory is full. Note: multiple portable miners can be used on a single node.
Okay, so now our next upgrade is what we need is we need some iron rods and we need some iron plates. Now, at the very beginning of the game, you do not have perpetual power. Perpetual power is like oil power or nuclear power or coal power. Coal power being the first one that you're going to get that's perpetual. And so we'll go in and get that set up. But for right now, we have to kind of manually set up the power. And eventually we're going to get our smelter and all of that stuff. But before we do that, we want to go ahead and create our production here where we've got this new thing called the equipment workbench. Now to do that, and by the way, I noticed they've changed their interface and the way that it looks down there. I really like that. And it says I'm missing this many plates and I'm missing this many rods. So I need to make 4 more rods and 6 more plates. Now I make exactly what I need, I find, in the beginning. So you're not spending too much time. There's 6 plates. And then 5 rods. And again, if we go in and look, how much do we need? Now, we're going to just hit plus here, and it'll add it to to-do list so you can know exactly how much you need. And I have a little bit extra, 1 extra rod there. And then that's now going to allow me to create my equipment workshop. Now, my equipment workshop is one of the greatest things at the very beginning of the game. I'm going to hit B to turn my light on. And that's setting up your portable miners. Now, again, I'm going to need more iron plates and more iron rods. Now, how do I get those? Well, I literally just walk over here and manually go ahead. Pick this up. And you're like, Kismet, I don't even see you getting it. Well, the reason why you don't see me getting it is because it's literally right behind me. And it's saying 30 iron ore and all of that. I can make myself disappear for a second so you can see that. And I'll be right back. There you go. So it's right behind me here telling me I have 70 ore now. So lots of ore. Just spend a minute doing some ore there, and then you're ready to go to town here, everybody. Now, one of the cool things about this game, and the reason why they call it Satisfactory, is the fact that you're producing stuff first. And this is what I love about the balance of this game, is you normally, when you want to make something, it makes you make it first, and then you then automate that thing, which really gives you a perspective of how long it would take you if you were doing it manually. Now, you could set up a macro and make it where you can just hold down the space bar automatically and then AFK and come back and do all of that. But the fun part is making the factory that makes all of these items possible. And then as you progress through the game, you keep making certain items to unlock more stuff and higher level stuff and faster stuff and bigger stuff, including more power and more stuff along the way, which is very, very fun, I find. Now, of course, to do these things, you're going to need materials to make these particular items. Like in this case, eventually I'll need a smelter to do what I'm doing right now, which is turn it into iron ingots. And then from those iron ingots, then I can make plates and I can make rods. Now, as you can see, I have grabbed a ton of it now. And now we're going to go ahead and do a bunch of plates here. And I'd say about 20 plates ought to get us started. Right about there. And then iron rods, same thing. Yeah, around 20 or so ought to get us going. There we go. And now we got that going. So now we've got this, and we have the ability to go over here and create these portable miners. Now, you saw me manually collecting that stuff. Now, what I usually do is I usually create multiple of these right at the very beginning, right? So let's go ahead and craft one of those. Oh, and then if I hold it down, it'll keep going. Number 2 and number 3. So we're already going to automate the process of extracting the ore, right? And this is a pure node, everybody. So when you start with a pure node, you are starting at the top shelf right at the very beginning. And that's why this start area is so awesome, is because you can do that. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this in my hands here. And then I'm going to go ahead and deploy this right here on the node. Now watch this animation, everybody. Just the animation in this game is just so excellent. Their animators are top-notch, everybody. Just absolutely fantastic. All right. Now, what that's doing, as you can probably guess, is it's extracting ore for me, so I don't have to do it. So what I do here in the beginning, though, is I will put multiple of these down, like this, and they will all extract ore individually. Like that. So iron is something you're going to need a lot of. So you get all your iron extractors going, and they will all work in tandem. And you can put a whole bunch of them down if you really want to go to town on it. But eventually we'll get an extractor which will extract it out at a much higher rate than these. But these are great to keep going in the very beginning because they do a bit of the work for you. Now up there on the top is the node that I really care about. That node up there. That is my concrete, which allows me to build foundations and things like that. And that's going to allow us to do some zooping today. So I hope we get to do a lot of zooping because this game is so zooping good. Absolutely. There we go. So we got that going. Now, equipment workshop, what else we need? A portable miner. Press Q to open the build menu. Buildings can be dismantled without any loss of resources. Yes, we knew all of that stuff. All right, so we got that done. Now, what we want to do is we want to do the same thing on our other node here. And I might just create 2 of them since that's what I have available. But 2 of them ought to be enough. Really, only 1 is enough. But we're going to go up to that over there because this is actually more vital to me than the iron is, everybody. Now, you got to watch out because it's a little bit of a drop-off there. But I usually find that they think this stuff through. That they think through how you're going to get wherever you're going on foot. So we're going to go ahead and just climb up the side here. I've already done this before, so obviously I know that's there. Watch out for that little thing, by the way. You can slide along that edge and fall off. So make sure to jump over that. And then, of course, we've got some more baddies we're going to need to take on here. Let's get our little thing on and see if we can do much better this time. Come on, let's go. Now, I go after just one of them, and they always get behind me for some reason. They got the skills to get behind me. I always assume there's one left. All right, there we go. So again, you got to take out some mobs. Sometimes it's ground-based mobs, and sometimes it's flying mobs. I find the flying mobs to be much harder. And then this is another pure node. So we're going to go ahead and pull up some of that limestone. Now, I'm a little ahead of the tutorial now. And you got to remove this top cap so that you can put an extractor on it later. But while we're here, we might as well get this going as well. So we'll go ahead and put this in. And come on, get in there. Come on. Okay, why is it not doing the thing? Okay, awkward. Okay, not putting it down. Weird. Okay, well, it won't let me put it down on the top there, but it will extract it over there. A little awkward there, but hey, you know what? I always find all the shortcomings. Remember, this is the experimental version. There it goes. All right, let's try to do it in there. It doesn't really matter. As long as it's extracting limestone, then it's doing its job. So now, I don't have to extract it. I just grab 35 limestone. On top of the limestone I've got, and then while I'm off doing something else, this is doing this, and then my iron is doing its thing as well. And we'll let that run. And we'll come back and build a whole, like, extraction system and all of that in a bit. And we'll try to decide whether I want to bring the raw resources to my base, or do I want to build a base over there to do it over there. And we definitely want to make sure that we build in our expansion when we are building out our stuff. So those are some of the basics, right? Now, one of the things we want to do is keep our hub getting upgraded as we go along. And so, again, we're going to need plates and we're going to need rods. We're going to need 20 rods. So let's go over here and make some more rods. And I'm just going to make as many as I can here because we're definitely going to need some more here in a minute. Anyway, should make our lives a lot easier. Exactly. It should make it easier if you get those extractors going. All right, and there we go. Hub upgrade number 2. Select milestone. Double-click your stuff up here. Upgrade hub. Okay.
Congratulations. You have unlocked Hub feature, Biomass Burner. Scanner feature, Copper. New buildings and recipes, which can be found in the Build menu and Craft bench respectively. 7th objective. Complete Hub Upgrade 3. Note. Connect buildings to a biomass burner for power. Note. Buildings such as the smelter require a recipe to be set. Advice: automate the smelting process and use portable miners for optimal results.
Okay, so now this biomass burner is talking about. Now, I can't build the biomass burners yet. You can unlock those later. But there's one in the back of your hub. And it's actually very underpowered for a biomass burner. The ones you get later are much better. But we can actually use this, and we can actually put some fuel in here. Now, if you're wondering why I'm picking up a bunch of leaves and random stuff at the very beginning, and that is because I'm going to use it for fuel. So I'm going to take that 500 bushes that we got, and I'm going to put it in here for fuel. Right here. Now, one of the things that's going to happen is it's going to start right up, which you don't want to do, because you don't want it to waste your power. So we'll turn that off for now. And now what we want to do is take this here and we want to convert it into ignits. Now, in the very beginning, I'm not so worried about where I'm placing everything and am I aligning it all and doing all of that. I'm really worried about just getting the production started, right? That's the most important thing to me. Getting it started, getting the smelter going, and so on. Now, if you notice that when I did the smelter here, and we'll go ahead and add it to our to-do list over here, and it says wire. Now, wire is a new thing that we need to unlock. And right now, if we go into our thing here, you can see that we have a new selection, copper. So we can go ahead and look for copper. I happen to know right where it's at. That would be right over there. So let's go over there and try to get some copper now. Now, right here, these things here will heal you. So I can go ahead and heal myself up in case I have to battle some more mobs, which you usually have to. There we go. So get some of those, and then you get more hand slots, and I wish they give us more body slots too. But you get more hand slots later on. So let's go take on some mobs over here again. Remember, this is the more advanced area. So I suggest go in swinging. Ah, a little save lag there. Did I punch that one? That was fun. All right, and then we got another pure node, everybody. Now, again, if you've ever played this game before, you know that starting with all the basics in pure form is awesome, is incredible. And I might just go and overclock all of these right from the very beginning. I don't know. But we grabbed some copper. Now, you probably guessed it. We need to come over here and use our auto extractors to extract some copper out of there. So, instead of running all the way back, if you have the materials for it, you can go ahead and just create another one right here. And you're like, oh, Kismet, you're out of plates. Bah! But I can also create a crafting bench, so I could make the plates. But I have to have the plates to make the crafting bench to make the plates, if you know what I mean. So I could very easily put remote crafting benches and also workbenches way off where I am actually working at, which is very, very useful over there. But for right now, since we don't have any plates, we have to go back. And we have to go ahead and make some more iron plates. Now, we don't have enough resources to do iron plates because we don't have our raw ore. But if we go back over here, very kindly, notice that they stopped, by the way. Very kindly, they've collected 100 of that ore, so I'm going to grab basically 300 iron ore right off the bat here, everybody. Boom. And then those are going to go back and get me 300 more in just a few moments. And then back over here again. And we can go ahead and get back to making some more iron ingots. Like so. And then we'll make some plates. And I forget how much it is to make some miners here. It takes 6 and 9. Now, what if I wanted to put portable miner in my to-do list? That's when you hit O to bring up your thing. You look up portable miner. Oh, there we go. Portable. Oops, spell it right. Portable miner. You click on that, and then you can add that to the to-do list. Boom. And then it will remind you how much you needed that thing. Now, you can also go in, hit Q, clear this list, so you don't have the smelter in there as well. And then again, portable. You don't have to type the whole thing out, just a few letters. And then add that to to-do list. Now, if I want to make 2 of them, which I do, then it will tell me that I need 4 and 8 of each of those things. And right now I've got 6 of this and I've got 9 of that. So it tells you that you actually have enough for both those portable miners there. And then we'll go over here, we'll hit portable miner, and we'll go ahead and make a couple more of these. And there we go. All right. And the cool thing is that all of your basics are really close together. There's actually some other resources right there, which we'll work on later. But all of your basic resources here, and this is selection number 3. This is the northern forest. This is the more advanced way because you're going to be building more vertical than horizontal. So we're going to go over here. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to take our portable things. We're going to pop them down, let them do their thing here. And while they're doing their thing, we're going to go do our thing over here by making some wire. Now, before I leave, though, I'm going to go ahead and collect a little bit more. Right now, I have about 30. You can't see it again. It's behind me right here. But I'm going to go to about 60. That's usually where I kind of get started. Right about 60 collection. There we go. On all 3 different nodes, right? So you want to have start with about 60 iron, and then get that build up. Start with about 60 limestone, and then 60 copper. And those are your basics that you're going to need to get started. Okay. Now, I need some wire right here. Now, to do wire, I'm going to need to make ignits first. So let's go ahead and get the ignits going. And then we're going to go ahead and get our wire going. And then we're also going to go look again. Okay, what do we need to start our smelter? We need 5 rods and we need 8 wire. We have more than enough wire, but we definitely need more rods. Now, again, I love the fact that it makes you build the thing first. And then you start to automate it. And before you know it, you get 50, 100, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 of that particular item. A lot of it, everybody. A lot of it. And especially with having a bunch of iron pure nodes here, we're going to start very, very well in this particular area and try to explore around what they've done new. All right, so now we're ready to put our smelter down. Now, our smelter is not directly connected to our node because it's not extracting it from the node. We're going to actually put the stuff in there to do it. Now, we don't have any storage or anything like that, so we have to manually put it right into the thing. But what we want to do is we want to get our power connected from here to here. Now, I can't connect the power because I don't have something called cable. And cable is made from wire. And you can see I can make 2 of them here, like this. And then we'll go ahead and we'll make those cable come right from here into there. And there we go. So now that has power. So instead of me smelting the iron, I can go in and have this automate that process. Now, one of the things you want to look at is how much power is this producing? Right now, it's producing 20, right? And then that takes up 4 power. I just know that it does, or I can look at it here in a second. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. And now what it's going to do is it's going to, turn it on. There we go. It's going to use these leaves as biofuel and burn up those leaves to produce some stuff. So we're doing 20, and you can see it's burning 4, right? And that 4 is coming from this over here that we manually put in here. And now it's doing part of the factory process, which is converting into iron ingots, so I don't have to. The more it does, the less I got to do, right? That's pretty awesome. We're going to let it do its thing. Now, what else can we build here, everybody? We've got our hub, which we already have. We've already done a workbench, our smelter. We've used our power line. We've used just about a bit of everything. Now, another thing that we can do is add another smelter to the process. So let's go ahead again, put that on the side here, and go ahead and check out our wire here so we can make some more copper. Over here, we need 8 wire, and then we'll make 8 wire. And there we go. And now we're going to add a second smelter. Now, we could add the smelter way over there, but then we'd have to run the power lines and do all that. I suggest in the beginning, don't worry about how it looks. Just make sure that it is functional. Now, if I try to grab the power from over here, it does not work. You can see that I cannot run it directly from here into here, right? But if I go ahead and hit F and take this power pole out, or take that power line out, I can make what's known as a power pole. But to make the power pole, I need some more gear down there again, right? So if we go into our power and we look, but one of the interesting things is it doesn't show you the power pole here, but it is down there, and it doesn't show you up here, and it doesn't show you what the schematics of it are or the items of it are. And I don't know if that's a bug or what. I just happen to know that you can actually do the power pole pretty early. So I'm going to make some more copper ignits. I'm going to make some iron ignits over here. And if you notice that I don't have the ability to make concrete. So I really can't even make the poles right now. But I could make a whole bunch of stuff here. Iron rods. It's making me a bunch of iron ignits and whatnot. I can make plates. And again, get all these various different resources that you're going to need in the long run. Oh, there we go. Make some rods, make some plates. I find I need more rods than plates, but making rods is very easy. Same thing with wire. We'll get wire going again. Right there. So I have the concrete, but I can't make it yet. Now, if I look in here in the next upgrade, we can see that we can make concrete, we can make the pole, but it shows you the pole this early and pretends like you can make the pole, because what you can do is you can drag it out. So don't be confused on that. Don't be confused that, hey, Kismet, I'm trying to make the pole. Won't let me make the pole. Well, you haven't unlocked the resources to do that yet. So you can only really make one. You can only attach one at this stage. And I suggest attach the iron one. But if you're really tricky, like me, you can go in and do copper ignis like this and say, hey, have it do a bunch of these, right? Like it's done 44 of them already. And then you take this out and you just literally just change it over to this one. And then this one's now off doing copper. And there it goes. Now it's doing copper as well. Now you can't connect between the two, which I think would be awesome if you could. You can only connect it directly there or from a power pole, which it will split the lines into multiple. So let's go ahead and now that we got a bunch of iron ignis already done, right? Oh, we'll do that battle here in a second. We'll let it do a bunch of copper ones, and then we don't have to do that anymore. That's now an automated process. So just switch it between the two. Now again, I can't make concrete, and that's because concrete is not smelted. Concrete is actually constructed in the Constructor. Now, we're going to go ahead and look again at what we need to do. Now, you can also select the milestone, put it up here in the corner so you can remember how many you need to do, and you can go ahead and put whatever you got in there so far, and we'll tell you how many left you need to make here. We need to make 20 plates. So let's go in and make those plates. Really, we only need 16 more at this point, so 16 plates there. And then we need 8 rods. There we go, 8 rods, perfect. And then iron, we need 8 more. Wire, we need 8 more of those as well. And that's good enough. And then we can turn around, put all this into here. And guess what? I'm going to do the dialogue.
Congratulations.
There we go.
You have unlocked Scanner Feature, Limestone. New buildings and recipes, which can be found in the build menu and craft bench respectively.
Okay, so we got
Objective. Complete hub upgrade 4. Note. Use power poles to expand the power network for optimal results.
Okay, so now we got our Constructor, we got our power pole, we got our concrete screws, reinforced iron, all of that stuff going on nicely right there. So now we can go ahead and say, okay, now we can do the power pole and take this out here. We can go ahead and click this. We can try to bring the power pole out, but still we don't have the concrete, right? But we had went and picked some limestone already up, so we're already ahead of the game here, where we can go in now and make that into concrete manually right here. We're going to need so much concrete. Your concrete should never stop running, everybody. It should never stop running. Now, while I'm doing this, let's go ahead and get this battle fired up. To battle! All right, let's boost everybody's range damage and get into a battle while I'm converting some resources. I'm going to convert a whole bunch of them right now while you guys are watching that. All right. Oh, man. We're getting a whole bunch of stuff done. Open Captain's Chats. Give you guys some love. Kill Inc. TARDIS. Getting some love. And let's see. Compiler coming in. MVP with the 8 assists. Nice job. Let's keep the next one going. Right in there. Let's pull in the Bannerman again. Get you guys a boost so you get all the kills and all of the assists and all of the loot. Let's do it. Let's also turn in our quests. Let's not forget to turn in your quests, everybody. Otherwise, they won't progress. So let's go ahead and turn all those in. Looking good on all of those. I'm not doing any War Beasts or any of that other stuff. Check the store to see if we got some new scrolls. Now, again, if you do like doing these battles, I usually do about 9 hours of battles, sometimes as long as 12, 14 hours of battles here on the stream. A great way to support the stream is click this right here. Type in my name, Kismet, Kismet, right there, and then purchase or gift some of these skins. We get, let's see, we're at 58 right now. If we get to 100, we're going to unlock the epic Saltbot skin as well. So make sure to show the support here, everybody. If you do like the battles, you do like coming in, I do a massive tons of battles for everybody. Make sure to help support the stream right there. I appreciate all the peeps that do. All right, let's keep it going. Now, again, put down every unit you possibly can. We're going to keep those battles going all day long. All right, now while you were watching that battle, I was sitting here holding down the space bar, unlocking a whole lot of iron ore. And we're going to go ahead and produce a bunch of iron there, plates, and then a bunch of rods. And I'd say about 20 of each is good at this point. Now, you want to do just enough to get the automation going, and then let the automation take care of the rest for you, everybody. Now, sometimes it's faster for you to do it manually. But we're going to go ahead and start to create some assembly lines. Now, what I would do is actually take this stuff out. Because at this point, what you can do is you can go into your stuff here, and you can go ahead and create your constructor and your smelter. Now, eventually, I want to connect this and make it all fancy-smancy down the road. But I do want to leave a little bit of room here, just so I can walk through there, and also so I can go ahead and now put down my power pole. As kind of a central way of not only being able to run lines, but also to check my power levels. You can check it right on the pole itself. And so what do we want to do? We want to go ahead and create 2 lines here. One for iron and one for making copper stuff. So we're going to go ahead and do our iron ore first. And then we're going to go ahead and rerun our line. And there we go. And now that's running. Now, again, eventually this is going to run out of biofuel, everybody. But I collect a lot of leaves in the very beginning, as I do. I'll go around, collect a ton of it on the run over here. Then it will run quite well. So that's going to run for that. Now, we want to also get our smelter going for our other one. We need a bit more stuff. But instead of running back every time, you know what we're going to do? We're going to create a little crafting bench right out here, make it more convenient. So if we need something, we can go ahead and make it right here in that crafting bench. And you can see we have a bunch of ignits here that we grabbed from our converter before. So we can make a bunch of wire, which allows us to go ahead and, of course, make our other smelter again. I can hold down Control to snap these to each other, by the way. You can move them closer. You can try to line them up perfectly. I find it works way better when you're on foundations, and we'll get to foundations here in a bit. But I'm just going to go ahead and spread it out a little bit just to kind of get it started. And then I'm going to run power over there, and then I'm going to go to copper. Now what we need is we need some raw copper, right? But because we don't really have any, we had just got the iron. So let's run over here, because while we were busy doing all of that stuff, it's been over here collecting a bunch of copper for us. And I usually find 2 or 3 nodes in the beginning is enough. 2 for these side ones, like copper and concrete. And then usually 3 for iron, because iron use a lot of it in the very beginning, both for your hub and upgrades and all of that stuff. So now we're going to go ahead and start to automate both of those simultaneously. Now, the more power you're drawing for here, the more consumption goes up and up and up, right? So the more stuff you connect, the more power is going to go up. And we can go up to 20. Right now we're using 8. So we're doing fairly well. And it's now going to produce both those ignits for us. Now, also what we want to do is produce some concrete so that we don't have to make that either. And that's where the constructor comes in. I'm going to go ahead and move this here. And I like to have it nice and close to my hub while I'm doing it. But to put the constructor down, I need to make reinforced iron plates. I'm going to need 2 of those. So let's go ahead again. Let's go ahead and move our bench right over here to the back. Right there. Give ourselves a little bit of room here in the back so we don't have to run back in every single time. And I need this right here, reinforced iron plates. And to do reinforced iron plates, I'm going to need a new thing called screws. And you're going to make a ton of these, an absolute massive amount of these screws. And so we're going to go ahead and get that going. And then we're going to make 2 reinforced iron plates. And again, I'm just building just the minimum amount so that I can automate the process, right? Automate the process of all the stuff that's going on. And we'll make this all look pretty, and I'll show you some advanced techniques on how to make your stuff look awesome. Oh, I need more wire. More cable, actually. There we go. And connect that right over there. There we go. And then this is going to make some concrete. And then we'll take our concrete that we have somewhere. Or did I convert it all? I converted it all. All right, awesome. Let's go back over here. Scares me every time I'm about to fall off, every time I hit that little thing. We're going to grab all of that. Then over here, grab all of that. All right, there we go. Now, if you really want to be tricky, you can go off this side and try to risk your life, because I'm a crazy man. Wow! Boom. We made it. Oh, I didn't even take damage on that. And there we go. Easy, right? The way there is a bit of a struggle, but the way back, GG. Okay, now we're going to go to the constructor. You should always be looking at your power. This is another 4 right here. And then put that limestone in there, and now it's making all 3 of those things. We've automated part of the process, right? So it's going to make all 3 of those things. And again, keep checking on your power over here. It's producing 80, or it's using 80 leaves per minute. And I have a ton of leaves in there, so it's just fine. You cannot automate the process of it putting power or putting leaves in the biofuel unless you use mods. There are some mods that do that. But I feel like it's like that on purpose, so that you're not just OP right at the very beginning. Now, we got those 3 processes going, and now we need to go over here and say, okay, what's our next hub upgrade? We're going to get conveyor belts, we're going to get inventory slots, we're going to get all that, we're going to select the milestone and say, okay, what do we need? We've got plates, the raw ability to make plates, we're going to need wire, and we're going to need concrete. Now, we got concrete running, but we actually don't have plates and we don't have wire going because we just have the ignits of it going and not the actual production. And so we'll go ahead and create another constructor. And I'm just going to put it out here. But to make that constructor, again, I'm going to need more wire and more stuff. So it actually forces you to make the stuff first. I love that. I love that about the game. Very, very cool part of the game. So let's make some more screws here. What else do we need? More iron plates. All right, we'll make some of those. Right here. There we go. And we'll make another one of those. We got 1. So, oh, nope, we need 3 more iron plates. Again, I try to make the minimum amount of whatever I need. And then about 4 more of these. There we go. And all right, there we go. Okay. Now we can go ahead and make our constructor. Oh, nope, I didn't make wire. I made the other thing. All right, wire here. Or cable, sorry, cable. I get that name mixed up all the time. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to put it in the front here. I don't need to put it in front here right now, but we're going to do it just to do it. And you can see we can construct other things. We're going to go ahead and construct some iron plates here. So I'm going to take the iron ingots that I have on me, instead of me doing it, instead of I doing it, or however you want to put it. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this one here, and I'm going to create another pole. Now you're going to find yourself running out of resources all the time in the beginning. But again, I make it to how much I need, and then I automate the process. So later on, I won't need as much. So I'm going to go ahead and make another separate pole, and that separate pole is going to allow me to connect all that stuff in. So now, we're doing the ignits here. I'm going to pull those out. I'm going to put the raw ore back in. Oh, wrong ore. This one here. Raw ore back in. We can go over here. We can grab some basic iron ore. Just try to max this out. Always a good idea to max it out so it's running for its maximum efficiency time. Same thing here with the copper ore. Let's let that keep going. Make sure to take the actual ignits out of there. And then over here, now we can go ahead and take a full stack of that into there, and we know that's going to run quite nicely. Remember, that's 4 as well. So 4, 8, we're at 16 power, and we have a total of 20 power to make it go. So we can do one more thing, right? That's it. That's all we can do. So we'll go ahead and try to make another constructor. We're not going to have enough resources for that. Let's go ahead and make more wire over here. And then we need to make more cable. Right there. Do we need more concrete? No. We need more reinforced iron plates. We need more screws. So basically, we're doing the first part, automating that part, but we're still going to need to make some of the higher end items just to progress across here. We're going to make a bunch of plates. There we go. Now we can make another constructor. Now the cool thing about this is that if you do take this stuff back out, you get all your resources back, so you're fine. And then this one, we're going to work on copper. We're going to work on wire. So we want to put our copper ignits in here. I'm going to put as much as we can. And then again, we're going to use this power pole, and we're going to run that right over there. And now that is making me some copper wire. So copper wire now being done, plates being done. And you're like, Kismet, what about your rods, right? I would suggest not doing rods in the beginning. The rods are super easy to make in the actual, those iron ingots in there, in the actual thing over here. So that's one of your easiest things to produce. So I would do plates first. Plates take a little bit longer, and you're going to need a lot more. It's going to take you a lot longer to make the plates than it is for you to make the rods. Because the rods make it like twice as fast as the iron plates. And you'll see later it also affects when we actually try to do all the numbers in the actual extractors and all of that stuff. There we go. It doesn't use power. That's right. That's right, Dark. It's not my first day. I've played this literally for years. I've played it for years. All right, so we go ahead and extract that, and we got that going. And this over here is making plates, and we're making wire over here. Now, is it making it faster than I can make it? Actually, no. A lot of times you can make the stuff manually faster than the actual machine will make it, but this can do it while we're doing other things, right? While we're doing extraction, or we're doing finding new nodes, or we're exploring, or we're building the base, or whatever, this will just be sitting here running in the background. Now, I could literally AFK right now and come back in 5, 10, 15 minutes, however long it takes for me to do this, and then I'd have all those resources. So you can also let your factory run when you really get it built up, and come back and literally have thousands and thousands of resources. And it's a very nice, very active game. And then also what I call a passive game, right? An active game is where you're actively making the things and doing the stuff, right? Whether it's a mobile game or console or PC, which is what I'm on, you have that kind of active interaction with it. But you also have passive interaction, and that's where you set stuff up, and then you leave the game, or you just go AFK and you come back later. And so it has also a passive aspect of the game. If you don't have a lot of time to play, you can just get stuff set up, AFK, leave your machine on, and leave it running, and then you come back later, and bam, you got tons of resources that you could use. And I like to play it through as I go, but I do like to queue a bunch of stuff up like that and keep it running. Now, let's look at our overall power consumption. Right now, we're pushing that 16 and whatnot. And if you see it's not at maximum, it's usually because it has either run out of resources, like this, or it has maxed the output of that thing. So let's go ahead and get the rest of these here, like this. Now, what is our goal right now? Our goal is to make a bunch of wire, a bunch of concrete, and a bunch of plates. And so I need 75 plates. Right now we're at 28. We're at 64 here. Let's just go ahead and stack those. We're at 89. So we've got plenty of those, right? Concrete, we already did that at the very beginning of the game, so we already made that manually. We already got 30 of that, so we're good there. Now, our main thing is wire. Now, wire is made, or cable. Cable is made from wire. So we're going to go ahead and take our wire. We're going to combine those together. And then we're going to go over here and manually make the cable. Though I could make another constructor and then switch it to that constructor to make the cable now. If you want to do that, it's up to you. Me, I'm just going to manually make it because wire is very much like rods, and it just takes just like that to do it manually. Some things I will progress manually, and some things I will automate just for the sake of time. Like what's more efficient? Is it more efficient to do it manually or more efficient to do it automated? All right. Come on, girl.
Congratulations, you have unlocked building, conveyor belts and poles. Inventory, additional slots. 9th objective, complete hub upgrade 5. Note, portable miners cannot be connected to conveyor belts. Advice, when planning the construction of buildings, note the placement of conveyor belts.
Okay. Now, it's automatically added a bunch of stuff to my quick bar down there. You actually have 10 quick bars, everybody, so awesome. They're believe me, you're going to use a bunch of them in the game. They're a lot of fun. So there we go. So we got that going. We actually get a second one of these eventually, but right now we need to take a look. We're at 35. Uh-oh, we don't want our production to stop. Now, again, this is why it's smart to grab a bunch of this stuff at the very beginning while you're running over here, or while you're running to your starting zone. So you can literally just put that in there again. Bam, 80 per minute, so that's at least 5 minutes of running there. If you just do some quick math, just round it up. So that's going to run for about 5 minutes. You can continue to do that stuff. Now, the problem is I need to get my iron ingots from here, and I need to get them into here. So I don't have to manually take them and keep putting them in there like that. And that's where your conveyor belts come in. So I can go ahead and run a conveyor belt from here into there. And now what it's going to do is it's going to take those. Oh my God, those belts are so slow. If you've ever played this game to the top, I always forget. And every single time, everybody, every single time I get to this moment when I start a new playthrough, I go, oh my God, the belts. The belts, everybody, they're so slow. But later on, you get like super fast belts that just belt that stuff through there. But man, it's super slow right now. Now, we want to do the same thing on this side where we go ahead, and that's why I put these so close. And I didn't line them up or anything like that. And now it's going to take all of this over here and run it in there. Now, you still got to manually put your copper ore in there, or a copper. It's not copper. Oh, it's iron. You got to manually put your copper and your iron in there to keep that running. Yeah, this is iron ingots here. So we need to go get more copper. There's Fred. I knew he'd show up eventually. That's my buddy Fred. Whenever I'm building anything, he's all up in my business. What up, Fred? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, go over there and get in my base. You're not fooling nobody. Nobody's fooled by your little looking that way and thinking that you're not going to come and go get in my base. Yeah, look, he's going right for it. He's going, and wherever I build stuff, that's where he ends up. It's almost like he's targeting it. And then I'm trying to build stuff, and he's standing in the way. And I'm like, get out of the way, Fred. I'm trying to build the stuff. You'll see. He's going to walk right over here and get up in my face. All right, and we also need to keep this going over here with our limestone. So let's get our limestone in there. Let that keep on rocking. Take that out of there. And keep this going over here with our copper. All right, now we've got both processes now linked. So we've got our smelters and our iron plates linked. Now what we really need to do is be able to bring the stuff out of there and put it into a storage, right? And we'll get that unlocked on the next tier. But really, we want to just automate that. And you're like, well, Kismet, why don't you add more? Well, the reason why I don't add more is because I don't have enough power. I don't have the ability to add more power. I'm at the optimum power I can do right now. And so that's what I want to do. I want to just be at the optimum power, and then it's perpetual power to keep going eventually on its own. But biofuel is not perpetual power. As you can see, it is burning through those leaves like crazy. Now, of course, the more power that I'm using, it used to be in the old days, the more power I'm using, the more it would burn. But now it automatically goes to max. So now if you're doing coal or you're doing biofuel or you're doing whatever, it will automatically do the max burning of your fuel. So keep that in mind. And look at that. All of them going at perfect 20 consumption right there, which is what you want. Okay, now we need to go ahead and look at our next upgrade for the hub, which is going to be all of this. So I'm just going to put what I can in there now. And so we need to make a bunch more rods. Well, I don't think that's going to be a problem. Because we have a bunch of iron in it and a bunch of copper in it. Now, what we can do is we can utilize some of our copper and some of our iron ingots that we already have, and we can fill this up with that particular thing. Now, I wonder why this is wrong, by the way, everybody. The relevant items should be actually copper ingot and whatnot if I had those, and relative items should not actually be in there like that. It should be only showing iron to do with that. But that's just me. Like this right here should be showing copper ingot. And I should be able to put that in there. Or you can go ahead and just put it in the output of this. And then it acts as a storage. And then it will go ahead and just feed that in there when it gets it done. Now it's producing way more copper ingots than it actually needs, right? So it's producing 30 copper ingots and it's only using 15. So that means we can make 2 of these and have them run in tandem to be optimum in that run. But we're going to go ahead and let that run for now. By the way, wire stack's very, 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 very high. So we've got that going. Now, one of the things we need to do, though, is we need to kind of interject in here, and we need to grab the actual iron ingots out of there. And you're like, well, Kismet, why would you take them out? Well, I take them out because I need to use them for rods. So I'm going to manually make the rods, but it already made the ingots for me. Watch how fast the rods go, everybody. They go very, very fast. So I'm going to make 75 rods. Is it faster for me to make another thing and switch the power and put the rods in there and wait for it to do it? Or is it faster for me to hold down the space bar in the amount of time that I'm talking to you right now and make 75 just so I can upgrade my thing? And there we go. Done. Just like that. Same thing with cable, right? You want to think, what's the return on your investment for time? Is it faster for me to do it in here, or is it faster for me to do it in the machinery? And in this case, when it comes to rod and it comes to wire in the early stage, now later on you're going to need 500 wire and thousands of rods and things like that. That's going to be way better automated. But here in the beginning, just make those manually in there. And guess what? We go in here, we go ahead and feed this in here, and now we're going to get that next level stuff here. Easy. Grade 5. I'll wait for her to tell us all about it.
Congratulations. You have unlocked Building Miner Mark 1. Building Storage Container. Hub feature Additional Biomass Burner.
Okay, so we've unlocked some stuff.
Complete hub upgrade 6. Note, there are no notes.
Note there are no notes. All right. Now, that's one of my favorite parts of the game, is now we've got another one, right? We got another one, and it can produce 20 power. And so now we're going to be using double the fuel, right? So watch out for that. It's going to start getting it going on. And what we want to do is we want to have this all tied together, right? Into kind of a central power right over here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and run that one over here, and eventually I will switch this one off. But I'm going to let that stuff run for right now and let it keep going. It should keep going. It wants to do it. Oh, it's out of ignits here. There we go. And then over here, same thing. There we go. Ignits in there. How we doing over here? More limestone, whatever I've got. Take that limestone out. We got to go grab some more limestone here. Okay, now what we do is we can go ahead and make my favorite new thing, and that is the Miner Extractor. And what we're going to need is we're going to need a bunch of plates, and we're going to need a bunch of concrete, which we already have that. And so now we can go ahead and basically pick these up. So we're going to pick up the miner, which also is going to pick up the iron. And we can get those out of the way. Now we need to use one of those miners also as the to help us build that. And then we can go ahead and actually make an extractor. Now I'm going to make the extractor go this way, which now is going the opposite way of where all my stuff is, right? But the great thing about this game is you can literally just go in and hit F and then take that stuff right back out and rebuild your whole entire factory however you want. Now one of the things I suggest to do is to take that out and run the power up in here and get your extractor going. It's going to do 120 per minute, which is a pure node, which is amazing to get started. I'm also going to go ahead and cut this power line here. I'm going to combine these into one single power line, and we're going to get that going over here. So this is going to start extracting, and we're going to automate the extraction process. Very cool. All right, so that's now extracting that. This is going to be in our way. We'll take that out. And so now what we want to do is we want to have it manually, automatically extracted versus manually. And then we want it to go in a process, right? So we want to go ahead and then take it out of there, and then we want to smelt it, right? We want to smelt it down from its raw form into iron ingots. So we go ahead and put that next in the line. And then I suggest to bring a power pole over here because you're going to be doing multiple stuff after this. So there we go. Now we're producing, we're producing 120, which is faster than my actual belt here, by the way. It's producing 120, and my belt is only 60 that's running. And you can see your belt speeds, by the way, if you go into logistics here and you roll over this stuff. It'll tell you what your belt speeds are up on that side. So it's 60. So that's extracting 60 there. And that's running that into the first one. Now, it only needs 30. So really what we could do is we could set up 2 of them to do it if we're in such a hurry. But we're not really in that much of a hurry, everybody. Again, you got to think you only have 40 power at this stage. So you really just want to get the most important things automated. So I'm going to go ahead and now put the constructor down. Now, the reason why I can do all of this stuff is because I already made it once before, and I already have the resources. It doesn't matter if it's crooked or doesn't line up or all that stuff. We'll get into lining all that up later on. Now, back to plates. And then now we have the ability, by the way, is to make a storage unit for the plates. And we're going to need a bit of rods. And again, you're going to see me just make the rods manually because they are just so quick and easy to make, just like that. Just like that, easy peasy. And then we now have our process for our plates. Oh, well, actually, that lifted that up. Awkward. Put it more over this way. There we go. Depending on where you put it on the train, sometimes it'll lift it up. All right. And then that is going to there, and we need some power for that. And now we have a complete line, right? It's extracting the ore, it's refining the ore, it's taking that ore and putting it in here, making plates, and then taking the plates and running the plates nicely into our storage unit over here. Now, we did it over here. You can probably guess what we're going to do next, right? And now, we did this temporarily, and if we hold down control, by the way, we can take out multiple at the same time, like that. And obviously, this now is obsolete because we wouldn't want to move that. We'll take this out of here, right there. And now we have our a part of our iron automated. And now what we want to do is automate some other processes way over there. So we're going to go ahead and try to find a link. Now look at this. As this one is full, it's got 4 connectors to it. And so we really don't want to do that. We want to have this one out and then use this over here to connect to there. And that's going to allow us to then run this. Now later on, you get more connections and all of that. But these power wires can run a really, really long way over here, as you can see. We can run it way over here, bam, and now we've run the power from over there to over here. And then we're going to do the same thing we did on the iron over here on the copper, and we're going to pick up that miner, and we're going to pick up this miner. Make sure you have some inventory space before you do that. And then we're going to try to convert or create another miner right here, which we can do right out the gate. Look at that, bam. Right out the gate, we've got the extractor going, and then we can go ahead and connect in the power. Now what's going to happen, the more I do this, eventually it's going to make the scariest noise in this game, and that is when I run out of power. And I'm going to do it on purpose. All right, let's go ahead and keep going. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to come out into a smelter. We're going to make this all nicer later. I was a little too close on that one. We'll wait just a little bit. I'm going to go toward my hub, as you can see. And then again, copper. So this is going to start extracting the copper. This is going to run the copper into here. And if we look at the power consumption now, look at this. Our power is capacity is 0, but our max cons is now 22, which is more power than we can produce, which means it's basically kicked off the power because I didn't have enough power to make all that happen. And that's okay, because we can still plan it out a little bit ahead of time here. And go ahead and say do that. Again, we'll make this all beautiful later on. We'll also accommodate expansion later on. Again, we're going to go with wire in there. Now we can actually just put some copper igniters in there just to get it started right there. And then again, this should be converting copper, and then when this power is up, all of these should be good. Let's make sure that we add another power pole, and you'll see why later on. And then those are all connected to power. So let's head back, and now we have our copper set up over there. We have the various different steps of the copper. And now what we're going to do is need to add more fuel. Now, you're going to find yourself making a lot of trips for fuel on this. And eventually we're going to use this wood too, so we'll grab that out. Here's what we'll do. We'll sort this. We'll go ahead and take these out. You're going to do this a lot, everybody. Actually, I should keep this on me just in case. You're going to be taking a lot of random stuff off of your character as you go. And I'm going to sort that. And then we'll go over here and kind of manually put this in here. Hear that noise? That means you're using too much power for what you're doing. And then when it does kick off, make sure you put fuel in both. And then... and there we go. The gray line is telling you how much maximum power you have, which is 40. The blue line is telling you if everything's running at the same time, it's going to take 26 power. And then this one over here, production, is how much it's actually using, right? It could use this much, but it's actually using this. And you'll see it go up and up as each thing comes online along that line. So as this extracts, as it puts the ore in there, as it gets to here, these are all power up. And the same thing over here with our copper extraction. Now, obviously, we're going to scale this up and scale it up and scale it up until it's like insanely large over time. And you'll see me do that as we go. All right, and there we go. That's coming out. Getting that into there, smelting that nicely, and then producing our ore. Now, the thing that we really need to produce, perfect timing. The thing that we really need to, there it goes. Now it's hitting our max cons now, so going up and down a little bit, but still hitting those max cons. Is the thing we really need to produce is up there, is the concrete. Concrete is one of those things that you just need a ton of. Now, before we get all distracted on the battle and the concrete, before I forget, I almost walked away, is we need to also make a storage so that when that does get filled up, it will then go ahead and pass this into a storage, and then we can go ahead and grab it from that storage so it doesn't fill up this, because the second that fills up, it will stop producing. And you don't want it to do that. You want it to keep producing as much as it possibly can, keeping that perpetual running going, because you're going to need all of that at some point. For sure, for sure. So we're going to head our way up there. Now, while I'm walking up there, everybody, we're going to go ahead and do a battle. To battle! All right, let's go do that battle. That's a little side game we play called Stream Raiders. Super fun. Feel free to join us in the next battle. It is free to play. Play it on both mobile and on desktop. And we're going to run our way up here and see if we can get our concrete going. Again, I feel concrete is your number one thing you want to get running. Because I will use a crazy ton of it. Absolutely. I'm going to pick up my miners while you guys are watching that battle. And I'm going to start with some of the basics which you've already saw. Including our miner and all of that. And you'll notice that there's something different about this build. Once I show you that. All right, let's go. Open the captain's chats, give you guys some love. Let's see, Kill getting some love. TARDIS getting some love. Right there. Congrats on that. Everybody coming in with the 6 kills and 6 assists with a double roll. Very nice, everybody. MVP of that round. One step closer to our blue chest here. Let's get it going. Another Bannerman so you guys can get all the loot. I'm just going to boost you guys. Give you some boosty boost. Right there. Now I'm going to have to go AFK for a second. My alarm just went. A second. Let me go ahead and jump back to my other overlay. All right. Okay. I'm going to vanish for a second while I go check on my kids to make sure I opened the door. I can't remember if I did. And I'll be right back. And I'm back, everybody. Told you just take a minute. I did remember to open the door, and my kids did get in. So, all right. Awesome me. I remembered something. It's amazing. Now, what's going on right here is I added an extractor for our limestone. And then I just added the constructor. There's no smelter in between. It just directly goes in to your constructor, and you're off and running. Now, one of the things we're going to need, though, is something from way over here. And that is some power, right? We're going to need to bring the power from over there to over here. Now, if I had another one in between here, I could go ahead and do something like this. Now, watch how far away you can build, everybody. This is one of my favorite things in this game. Look at that. I could run that line there, and then run it back like this from up here, and then run that down that way. Come on, you. Not quite close enough. Oh, boy. All right, not quite. Oh, I'm out of rods. That's my problem. All right, but that's okay. I can fix that problem by putting a crafting bench up here, but I couldn't because I'm out of rods. So yeah, I need to connect the power. Now that's okay. I can go ahead and connect the power while I'm up here into there and into here like this. Now I also want this to go to a storage, but I don't want it to go to a storage up here. I want this to come out of here into there, and then I want to actually run this way and run it way down over there. But I'm definitely going to need more rods, so we'll come back to that in a minute. Let's go ahead and find our little jump down spot here. That's going to start to extract that once we get that going. All right, so there we go. So we've got that connected into our primary power. We can then now hit this from down here with some wire. Try that again. I could have sworn that could reach. Nope, just a little too far. Oh, it's because I don't have enough wire. That's what it is. Actually, it can reach. I don't have enough wire to make it happen. Let's make some more cable, not wire. We need more cable. Again, look how quick it is for you just to make it in the thing. I find it's much better than to automate that, because then you got to go get more power and do all of that. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and bounce this back to over there. It is too long. Okay, good. So here, and then over to there. Now, your stuff does not get destroyed, so it doesn't really matter how you have your stuff going. No one's going to destroy your stuff. You're good. So now we're good to go there. Now, again, we always need to watch our power and see how it's doing. It's now getting way up there, up to close to that 40. And now we got both of those going, and we're going to need a bunch of rods. So let's go in here and just snag some of these out of here, over here, because it's going to go slower than what's being produced. And then we'll grab a bunch more rods. We're going to make a bunch of them. We're going to need a lot. Okay. Now, again, we want to get it from up there to down here. Now, one of the things you can do is you can use this thing called the conveyor pole. And you can try to put the conveyor pole somewhere up here. Let's say right there. Now, I'm actually just going to make the pole and not the thing. The conveyor belt, I'm going to go ahead and now make the conveyor belt down to here. Now, what does that act as? That's right. It acts as a way for me to get all the way up here as well. Now, this is the old school way of playing this game. I played it since it released, everybody, or since it was early access. Yeah, and I have it on the Epic Game Store. And this is how you used to get around before they added a whole bunch of other cool stuff that we'll get to later that you can go ahead and do this. Now, I've started a new playthrough. I do have a high-end playthrough that I'm using in the normal mode, but since it's experimental and we are testing stuff out, we decided to start a brand new playthrough. And I've played through the game 20, 30 times. It's not my first time playing, just so you know. Just so you know, in there. Because I do have, whenever I start a new playthrough, people want to come in and say, Kismet, you should do this, and this is how you do this, and this is how you do that. I appreciate you, but I'm just commentating for people who've never seen the game before or never seen me play through the beginning. Now, see that right there where it's going through the middle there? I hate stuff to clip. I'm not a big fan of clipping, so I will actually take this back out again, like this, and we'll fine-tune this a little bit so that it is up here like this. There we go. And then we can try to run it down there. Now, I need a few more plates. Now, I strongly suggest when you are you're out at your node level that you create yourself one of these. That's so you can go and make your own stuff here. And I also suggest to have a bit of iron ignits on you, a bit of copper ignits, a bit of concrete on your character. So if you just don't have enough to make it happen, you can go ahead and make it without having to run all the way back every single time, because that sucks. That sucks big time. All right. Oh, I need 2 more. Always the way it is. You always need a couple more. And let's go ahead and just do 4 more. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so now we've automated our concrete. Now, we haven't optimized it because this is a 120 node, so I could really make a lot more. But what I'm trying to do is stay within my power constraints that I'm in right now, right? My power constraints are using 40 power the most effective way. So I can get on this belt, and I can take this belt right over the top of this. Now, that's a certain death if you fall off of that, everybody. I can hold down shift to go a little faster. And I'm going to work this to come right over here where I want it to go, right? Right over here, and I'm going to go ahead and put a nice concrete thingy down. Oh, I need some more plates. Actually, I could just do this, everybody. Just walk over here. Oh, and there went our power. And then just grab the plates that I've already made. So I don't have to keep making them all the time. And our power is not out. Now, this is your biggest struggle in the game at all, is the fact that you're going to run out of fuel at some point. So I'm going to go ahead and right-click this. I'm going to split the wood here. I'm going to actually switch the wood out here and switch the wood out here. Now, wood takes a lot longer, burns a lot longer. It's going to burn 12 per minute. Which in this case, the amount of wood that I have is about 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and start that back up again. And there we go. That's going to run. Now, we're going to have to go collect more eventually. But let's get back to our hub here. Let's go ahead and see what we're looking for in hub upgrade number 6. Okay, so we're going to put whatever we can in there for now. Right here. And we're going to need more concrete. We're going to need more rods as well. So our concrete's coming down. And I want to go ahead and put a thing out here. We're going to need to make more rods over here. So I'm going to go ahead and just make some ignits. Yeah, make some ignits out of this. And then make a bunch of rods. And then, again, try our storage container. There we go. And I usually like to aim it toward me like this, something like this, where I can just go like that. And now I have all 3 running at the same time. And how are we looking on our power? Let's go check our power again. Right now, our max con is 35, and our production is, our capacity is 40, and our max cons, that means if everything's running, is 35. And I like to obviously keep my power above how much it would max out. So I have enough for 5 more power. So I could get something else going. And what have I been using a lot of? And that is my rods, right? So I could use my rods, but we don't have some of the logistic pieces that we need to split stuff and create separate extractions and whatnot. But we do have other nodes that we could go over here and do, or we could do what I call offline production. Now in the beginning, you'll see me do a lot of offline production. Offline production means that I take one of these right here, and first we gotta make more rods. Hold on. Make some more. Actually, let's just grab the actual ignits out of here. Oh, it's only got 5. All right, well, we'll let it do its thing. Oh, so slow. So slow, that's okay. We'll speed all that up later. It'll still help us do a few rods. Then we'll make our own ignits here. We'll say about 10 rods. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do some offline production. And so we're going to take a storage container, and I'm actually going to turn it this way so it goes toward me. And then we're going to take another constructor, and we're going to put that somewhere in here. Oh, we need 2 more iron plates. Let's make some more screws. Now, again, this seems complex, everybody, but it's really not. It's really not. Once you get the gist of it down, you'll be crushing this in no time. That is for sure. Now, actually, you get your raw ore, you create ignits, then you do rods, and then rods here will become screws, and then screws becomes reinforced iron plates. You get the general idea along the way. All right, make a few of those. Okay, we got that going. Now we want to do another constructor here. It doesn't matter how I do the constructor. I'm just going to turn it sideways, and then we're going to see if we have enough to run this in there. We do. Perfect. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start making some iron rods as well. I'm going to tap into some power way over here and just run that over there. Oh, I'm going to try to run it. I need one more wire. It's always one more thing, everybody. One more cable. I want to get that wrong a lot, so just deal with it and roll on with your life. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and make some iron rods. So what we're going to do is manually put some of these in here so we don't have to feed it in there. But we're going to need the ignits itself, right? These parts right here that are being produced out of here. It is producing 30 per minute. But the weird thing is this is not backlogging that much. This should backlog. Oh, it's using 30 per minute. That's why. It should backlog that across there. Now, let's go ahead and take a look again how much power we can use. We have, right now, we're at max cons 39. So we've got it perfect to where we want it to go. But we need to backlog some of these over here and grab these and get those over there. So we're going to turn our iron off for a minute. Or what we could do is we could just turn the iron to iron rods. And I call that retooling your factory like this. Now, if I'm doing iron rods, what it's going to do is start a backlog of iron ignits. And so I can take those iron ignits and I can actually double up on what I'm doing. I can put them here. If I have a lot of them, I can put them in here. It's probably better just to put it directly in because it's going to be faster. But you can put those in there and then have it run out and make more rods over there. So now you're making double rods, or you're making one with plates and one with rods, or however you want to do. But it'll start to backlog. Now, I don't have the ability to run out these ignits and split them over there, so I can do a double one, but we're going to get that ability here in a bit. We'll let that run. Now, while we were doing all of that, over here is made us a bunch of concrete, so we're good there. And now we're making our iron rods over here, and you can see it's made me 11 of those, so now we're getting somewhere there. And then over here, this one has made me 6, and so on. We'll see how many we have now to put in. Right there. So now we need about 33 more. Now again, I'm going to race the thing over there, and I'm going to even do the iron ignits from scratch as well. And I'm going to see which is faster. Is it faster for me to make them over here, or is it faster for me to make them in 2 separate ones at the same time? Now I could just make all the iron ignits and just put the iron ignits in there and then have it produce the rods. But as you can see, I can make the rods way faster than it's going to make it. So I usually just make them myself. That's about 21 there. We'll put those in there. What are we at now? We're about 12 more. And again, this is how I progress. I don't worry about the look of my base in the beginning. Later on, like I'm doing with my main base, in another playthrough, I'm retooling it. I added 160 coal plants. Yeah, 160, everybody. 33 oil plants. Yeah, 33. Actually, I could do 66. I could do double that amount, but we're going to do our plastic and all that eventually. We'll eventually get back to that playthrough and whatnot. But we're just doing a playthrough here just to try to check out all the new stuff from the very beginning. And there we go.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Building Space Elevator, Building Biomass Burner, Heart, Biomass. Motivational message, congratulations, you succeeded in every provided task. On behalf of Fixit Incorporated, I thank you for your current and future service. Additional knowledge, the hub terminal has been converted to give access to milestones there to ensure you progress along Fixit-approved protocols. Note: future developments should be aimed at constructing the space elevator and, as such, initiating project assembly. Good luck.
All right, now it's all up to me, everybody. It's all up to me. Now it's time to get cracking in here. And now what we've done is we've done tier 0. We've unlocked all of those, including now our space elevator, biomass burner, and actual biomass, which is way more efficient than doing leaves and doing all of wood. You definitely want to create some biomass eventually. Now, we've got tier 1 and tier 2 that we can do at the same time, right? So we can do base building, so we can get our foundations in. Is that the most important thing? Well, we'll look through and see. We've got our splitters and mergers and lifters. Those are all super efficient, as well as productivity display, which is very useful. Field research, which is our MAM, object scanners, our personal storages, hand slots, inventory slots, and so on. In tier 2, we've got part assemblies where we get our assembler going, our rotors, our modular frames, all that fun stuff. And of course, this one, which is obstacle clearing. Of all the ones you want to do right now, this is the one. Wow, that timing was perfect. Did you hear my power go off? That's because you need to do some obstacle clearing at this point so that you can get enough resources so that you can power all of this stuff we're about to do. And the more stuff we get running, the more things we can go ahead and produce, the faster we're going to progress through these new machineries and new items and keep scaling it up and scaling it up. Eventually getting to a point where we can do perpetual power. And that is later on in what we're doing. And you can see we have a bunch of awesome sinks. We have stackables. We have cartridges, which is cool. I don't think it uses these color cartridges anymore. I don't know. According to the new thing, you don't need that anymore. You have like a whole customizer thing that you can do. But we definitely want to unlock the base building and get all that going. But I feel like always the number one thing that I want to do is obstacle clearing. So we need 100 of these. So we're going to start with that one. 100 of our wire. Now, again, we don't even need the automation at this point. We could just go ahead and just make it. Because we have a lot of resources that we could just go ahead and utilize for making stuff. Like back here, it's been making a bunch of wire. And I could have moved that closer, but it's close enough. I would walk over here. Just because it uses less resources. And then we'll grab that. Now we have a bunch of wire. And then we'll go up here and we'll check on all these screws that it made for us. And now we have a bunch of plates and, rods that it made for us, not screws. And then this here, a little bit more iron rods. And now we have a bunch of basic resources we can use to make even more of these. And we're at 35 right now. And so I can make 261 more. Now again, if you notice that I didn't take all the time to build all the other resources to do wire and do all of that. That's because it's a waste of your time in the early game. Because you don't have enough power. You can't produce enough power to keep all that stuff automated. You can switch back and forth between the various powers, which I think is cool. But just running it all at the same time, you can only max out with what I've got going right now. So it's the kind of the optimum of the start. Now we also need 500 screws. Now this is going to take a while to make this many manually, but not that long. You can just hold down space bar and we'll just ride it out. Now, again, while you're watching this, everybody, take a minute to go ahead and join us for some stream raiders. It does help out the stream tremendously if you do participate, and everybody else, too. Not only does it help out you, but it also helps out everybody else who is playing in there. Make sure to put down 1 unit every 5 minutes, and then you can put down a total of 6 units. The more units you put down, the more loot I'm able to give to you. Now, they've added a bunch of stuff to the game, including signs, a customizer where we're going to mess around with that, concrete buildables, dedicated servers they've added, emotes they've added, that stuff too. Bunch of stuff to the building system, including zooping, soft and hard clearance, quick switching. I've got this written down. I'm looking at the patch notes as well. Foundations can now be rotated at 45 degrees instead of just doing the snaps, which are awesome. You can do trains with signals and switches and block signals and path signals and all of that. And then also you can paint your vehicles finally, which is cool. We're going to do all of that, everybody. We're going to get into all of that for sure. Now I'm at 256 here. I definitely need a lot more done. I can make a lot of reinforced iron plates right now too, but I'm not going to. I'm going to make a bunch of iron ingots so I can make more iron rods. Now if you look at the ratio, everybody, of how many rods, 1 rod per 4, and we need about 250. So basically you would say, just roughly, you need about 50 iron rods, but I'd say make 60 or 70, and then go from there. And I could go collect more bushes and more stuff and go and put it in there and have it create more for me. But at this stage, at this exact one right here, I actually stopped. I let it stop. I let it just stop because it's just not worth my time to go and grab more bushes and let it automate when I could just do it manually right here and just literally skip past this part into the next part. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that until about 60 iron rods there. There we go. And then we're going to make a bunch of those. And we need about another 250 screws. And so we'll make as much as until we see the screws say 250 over there. And that's going to be pretty close. We might have to make a few more. Yeah, a few more. A few more iron rods there. That was a good guess. Now, you can do the math and figure it out ahead of time, but I just kind of guess just to get close to that particular area. And then just make sure that I'm just making the minimum amount. There we go. The minimum amount I need to progress to the next stage. Right there. Oh, oh, I didn't make the actual screws. Helps if I actually make the screws. I got enough screws queued up, but I didn't actually make them. So let's make the rest of these. Now again, you can't go in and automate the whole thing and just have different stages and then just switch the power when you need to get from one stage to another to another. And we'll automate all of this. We want to actually make sure we leave enough room to expand this because we're going to really scale these up. We're going to boost all of the starter extractors so we don't have to go get more resources elsewhere. We're just going to straight up boost these ones. And I've already got a worm that's going to allow me to do that right at the very beginning, which is cool. So let's get this going. Crafting like a crazy peeps. Again, this is probably one of my biggest tips in the beginning of the game. Know what's worthy for you to build. Now, this little red button.
Milestone reached. Biofuel will ensure maximum efficiency of biomass burners. To aid in biofuel production, you are now capable of removing foliage that consists primarily of wood. Additionally, R&D inflated your pocket dimension.
That's cool every single time, everybody. I've seen that hundreds of times. It's absolutely cool every time. Now, because it doesn't just go straight up, everybody. It has like a thing to it, and that's great animation, everybody. Just put that little embellishment on it. Now, we got 2 more minutes until we can actually do the next one, but we can still choose our next milestone. Now, for me, it would be base building. Absolutely. And so I need to work toward getting a bunch of concrete plates and rods going on. But I have the ability now to do a chainsaw, and the chainsaw is going to be so vitally important here at the beginning of the game. Where the heck is my thing? It's on the other side. Where did I take it out? Oh, I took it out. Oh, okay. I took it out when I was moving my stuff around. Let's put our workshop back down. Oh, I need a couple more rods. Let's get our rods going. There we go. Again, I do a lot of manual building in the very beginning, and then later on, this is all massively scaled up and upgraded and so on and so forth. All right, now we can make our chainsaw. So what do we need for our chainsaw? We need a bunch of reinforced iron plates, bunch of rods, bunch of screws, and a bunch of cabling. All the stuff that we don't have. Now, another way to do this, everybody, is to go hit O, and then you can go ahead and say chainsaw. And then click this. And then say, add to to-do list over there. Nice and easy. I swear they made that feature just for me, everybody, because I'm so bad at remembering. And I've played this game a lot and still forget how to get it going. Now, again, this is when I stop using power, and I just go ahead and manually create a lot of this stuff just to progress past this part. Now, to do the screws, I'm going to need to make a bunch of rods first. I would start with the screws first because they're going to be multi-level. So first, you're going to need to make a bunch of iron ingots. Then you're going to need to make a bunch of iron rods, and then you make the screws from that. So, and I'll also show you how to optimize your reinforced iron plates, which I call the Kismet Rule of 8. Once you master the Rule of 8, you have mastered this whole entire game. That's right. And I'm going to probably show you, probably not today, probably next week, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll go a little extra long today since we are at the coming back. We're gonna have a lot of fun making that animation. All right, so more rods.
Milestone exchange concluded. Fix-it freighter re-entry complete.
Oh, that's something new. I don't remember that. All right, bunch of iron rods here. All right, and then we got more than enough screws, so let's go ahead and do our screws here. Screws being the toughest. Actually, screws are more tougher than the actual reinforced iron plates. And the reason why is the reinforced iron plates, which we need 5 of, actually use the screws. So we want to go ahead and make those actually first. Like so. And then those are done. And now we can go ahead and make our screws without burning up and using up all of our screws for the process here. And we're also our rods are going to run out because we're going to use our rods for screws. And we'll have to make more rods. And then cabling, very easy. I'm going to make 196 of that right now. I'm already styling on that. And we're getting there. And there we go. 160 done there. More iron ingots so we can make 25 rods. And then we'll make our wire and then we'll be done. And then we can start revamping our entire base. And I usually do what I call the Rosetta Stone piece. I set up one piece that's the center of my entire base. And then everything that I build from there is connected to that central piece. And it will be good to go. All right, there we go. And then make 15 wire. And see, that's faster than any machinery I can set up. And in the timeline, I definitely could get that going way easier. Now, you see that I'm building this over here, but I actually want to build the chainsaw. So putting that in there like that just cost me my rods, right? So now I put 25 rods in there. I'm like, oh no. Now the reason why I do that is to show you that that happens all the time. Now again, I can just make the rods again, no big deal, because I have plenty of iron ingots. Now again, I haven't run anything. You don't hear any of the factory running. I haven't extracted any other resources. I literally got everything to do all of this right at the very beginning of the game by using the auto extractors and then now using the powered version of it. Well, let's do that again. And then we'll get our iron rods, which go super fast. Make sure not to use it on the wrong thing. There we go. And then go out here and find out where I put my workbench. I always put it in different spots each time, so it's hard to find. And then now we got our chainsaw. And this is when you're really now starting the game. At least I think so. All right, so we got a chainsaw. Now the problem is we need some wood to do the chainsaw. That's cool, how it's just like a telescoping blade. All right, so we need some wood to make the chainsaw work. Now, the chainsaw can be really annoying to carry around because it's just like in your face the whole time. But we still have some leaves on us here, and we can make some biomass leaves like that, and we can make some solid biofuel. And you only need to make a little bit until that happens. And you can hear that my thing is now built up. Now, the optimal way to use the thing is in an AoE area, right? So you go into the center of an area with a bunch of stuff, and then you just try to go and grab the bushes. Oh, it's not highlighting the bushes. Just the flower petals, but not the bushes here. Normally what it does is it highlights when you roll over something you can cut. And normally it does the bushes here. That's weird. That's strange. But if you can't get these, everybody, here's what you do. You go for the tree. Is my inventory full? No. You go for the tree, and it's going to AoE everything around it. Boom. Like that, right? And so your tree is your better option. Or you can do something by the tree, like these leaves. Boom, and it gets the tree anyway, because the chainsaw is basically cutting down in a big area. And now you know why I am doing the chainsaw versus doing manually collecting this and hitting E over and over and over and over again. Because that takes a while. Boom. And see, I'm just collecting a ton of it at the same time. So I look for some leaves or something nearby. And then I try to get in the center. Boom. And we're going to get all of that. Say, hey, doggo. Oh, how you doing, little buddy? I ain't going to hurt you, bro. You're my little buddy. I am going to cut all this down. Now, wood is your friend, everybody, because wood is much better for converting into biomass than anything else. So look at that. I took both trees out at the same time. Now, watch out for baddies, because they'll be around somewhere. Believe me, they're around here. Boom. Go around, chop down some trees. Yikes, off the top rope. Now, you probably want to spend a good amount of time doing this. Now, look at this. See how I circle back to my base? You want to spend a good amount of time doing this in the beginning. Because you're going to... Doesn't matter if you do it a lot right now or you do a lot later. You will end up doing this a lot. Until you get to perpetual fuel. Maybe we'll try to get to perpetual today. And go for a while. Uh-oh. Now, the chainsaw is not a weapon. Keep that in mind. It is not a weapon. This is a weapon. See how I jukes him there? I went up to the top there to jukes him. Come here, boy. Jumping is your friend. And see, I jumped over him, so when he went through to try to get me, I jumped over the mob and then zapped him. And now what I've done is I've unlocked all of this free stuff down here. But there's another one I gotta get. Come on, bro. Wait for him to charge. Where's he stuck? Not stuck that way. He was stuck by the stuff here. And there we go. GG. Now we get free loot. Now, if you can, in the very beginning of the game, you can just come right over here and grab all this free loot. But I just wanted to show you guys how to do it the old-fashioned way, where you start from nothing and do it. Now, also in here, there is going to be a drop, right? We're going to need some modular frames to open this up. And inside here is going to be a hard drive or something for making stuff. Now again, somebody's thing that tried to go up to the air crashed and landed back down here, and so you're picking up all the extra loot that it was sending up to the other area there. So good to find these little spots like this, and we'll come back to it later because we need a specific resource, or sometimes you need power. And I definitely need to chainsaw out. Now I usually go until I run out of fuel, everybody. That's my thing. Make sure to manually pick up these ones here, these pale berries. Oh, not enough space. Ah, the age-old problem. Not enough space. Now you can really tell when you're out of space, everybody, is when you start to go AoE something like this. And it doesn't actually take everything out. See, it left that flower petals and whatnot there because I didn't have enough inventory space. Now, it'll actually show me my hub up there at the radar at the top. And we'll do that battle here in a second. So I can just run toward that marker. And that's going to get me back to my base. And now, we can go ahead and do some more offline production over here. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my chainsaw because that's annoying. And do this. And so instead of doing iron ignis now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do biomass wood. So it's going to create biomass here. And I'm not going to, you don't do this in line anyway. So we're going to take all the wood here and hold down control and put that in there. And that's going to start running into there, right? And then over here we have other connections and other things going on as well as we're running all these connections all over the place. But you can create your own individual connection to just run that, right? To just run that thing. But to get it started, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and use some of the leaves to get this fired back up again. We're going to ride that line right at the very top, as you can see. And all of this is going to start back up doing our various stuff. But what we want to do here is we want this wood to feed into here and create the biomass. Now, it can do it at 60 per minute. So the smarter thing to do is to actually take the wood here and put it directly into the machine so it doesn't run out. And so it'll go at its maximum speed. Now I have biomass. Now that biomass is a much better thing to put in over here because it's going to run better in there. So let's cut our biomass in half. We only got 4. So we cut our biomass in half and we put that in there, and that's going to last 80 leaves per minute, and I have 500 leaves. It's going to be about 5 minutes. If I put 2 biomass in there, it's going to use 6 per minute. So that means that this actually is going to die quicker than the leaves, but is going to be much more efficient. And so I'm going to go ahead and let that run in there just a little bit, like this, right? Now I also have another one which is 100, which I can just split half. Put that in there, and then over here on the other side, put the rest of that in there, and there we go. Now it's going to be 6 per minute, which means now it's going to run for about 10 minutes. That's right, both these are going to run for 10 minutes, just making me endless amount of resources for 10 minutes and then feeding them in there. Now what happens very often too is that your biomass will get filled up, so you definitely want to have some sort of storage. Now, the storage that we're doing right here is an absolute mess, everybody. It's just like all over the place. It's just running on the ground. It's all over. And this is how I do it in the beginning, because I don't really care in the beginning, because you don't really have your foundations yet. You don't have a lot of pieces and parts that you're going to need later on to make all this happen. Oh, not enough space in my inventory. So let's go over here, right over here, sort this, and put a whole bunch of that away. There we go, and this, and that, and... maybe we'll keep that. We got wood. We got a little bit of biofuel there. We'll sort this. Do we really need to keep all this iron ore? Not really. Do we need to keep the copper? No. Do we need to keep the concrete on us? No. Because all of that part now is automated, so I don't need to keep all of those on me at this point, because we're going to try to really scale it up and automate all of the stuff now that we can. Now that we have enough power to automate everything, we're going to go ahead and get that fired up. And that's going to allow us to make a lot more of each resource, especially since we have a bunch of pure nodes over here. But we're still going to work toward our foundations here. We can already put our plates in there. Our plates are good. Do we have enough concrete over here? How are we looking? 92 concrete, so that's pretty good. About half as much that we need. And we really need to get our rods going over here big time. But we got 43 now, so we don't have to at least manually make those anymore. So we're good there. And we're good on plates right now as well. We got about 48 plates on us. All that stuff is good. Now we can actually speed this up a little bit. We've got iron ingots over there. And we've got our biofuel maxed out again here. And again, we need to go hit F. Middle mouse button picks that up. By the way, if you learn only one thing in my stream, hit F and middle mouse button. Instead of doing this or putting this on your bar, just hit F, aim at the thing you want. Maybe you want another constructor, middle mouse button. Boom, instant constructor. You want another storage, F, middle mouse button. Now you got another storage. It's one of the most powerful things in the game. And I've forced myself to do it so I can learn and master that particular thing. And after I've done that, it has really made a difference in my building and my gameplay. All right, so there we go. So now it's going to make a ton of biomass in there. Now I've got 2 stacks of 200 biomass now. So now this is really going to run for a while. So let's just round it up to 7. Hey Siri, what's 200 divided by 7? So 28, or if we round it up to 30, that's going to run for 30 minutes now. 30 minutes of auto extraction, auto grabbing the concrete, 30 minutes of running the copper, and running our iron to rods right now. 30 minutes of that. And so what we can do at this point, everybody, AFK. Just AFK, come back in 28 minutes, and you will have a tremendous amount of everything, everywhere. Let's go ahead and do a battle, though, while we wait. To battle! Alrighty, everybody, let's go ahead and just fast run everybody in there. We're going to try to get this battle done while we wait for some resources. And again, we're playing the experimental version, everybody. And I could have brought a high-end save in and done it in there and done all of that. But I really feel like if you're going to really test new stuff, you want to start from scratch and work your way through and see how you would integrate that new stuff in as part of your playthrough, as opposed to just jumping to the end. And, you know, that's what a lot of people will do. They'll just jump to the end and say, oh, look, I unlocked everything. I like to start anew and give it a fresh playthrough on that kind of stuff. Man, we are going to town here. Oh, I think we got this. A little iffy there for a moment. But I think we got it. All right, nice job. How many units was that? That was, let's see. You liking Update 5? Yes, LOC. I like it so far. I'm just starting at the basics here. Just kind of explaining a bit of the basics as we go along. You don't need to hold down the space bar anymore? Really? You don't? Oh, I'll try that out. Open the captain's chest. Grant some rewards. Let's see. TARDIS, Subi, all getting some love. And everybody coming in. MVP with 9 kills. And then we'll go ahead and click on the loyalty skin chest here. Now, again, pull out those epics. Pull out the legendaries. I'm going to just call out my highest level character and awesome version of me. That's right, I'm in the game, everybody. Right there, the Wasteland Tycoon. Feel free to come and join us. We're going to try to get you guys some epic loot. Now, if you want to join us for just one battle, this is the one. Make sure you put down as many units as you possibly can, because this is the one that's going to get you potentially a free skin, a bunch of loot. So let's go. All right, he says I don't have to hold down the space bar anymore. Let's see. I'm going to go in here and make some iron rods. Craft. Space bar. Oh, you're right. You just press the space bar once and it does the rest for you. Oh, I did not know that. Space bar. Space bar. Oh, it auto locks the conversion for you now, so you don't have to cheat and go out and make a macro for it. Or put a rock on your space bar. Yes, that is a great find. So again, I can AFK right now, come back, I have a bunch of screws ready to go. But what we really want to do is make a bunch of rods. So we're going to try to get to 100 rods here and try to get that unlocked. Wow, okay, we're at 90. That's a good spot. Let's go ahead and check in on this. We're at, boom, 163 there. Is this still pumping down? Yeah, it's still going. So, it's so slow, everybody. If you play through, later on, your stuff is just literally flying down the conveyor. Here, it's like really, really slow. Now, one of the things we can do while we're waiting for this, while we're trying to get these rods fired up, is we've got some logistic stuff we're going to get later on here in our next upgrade. down the road here. I'll go ahead and show you that. Right here on the logistics, we're going to get our splitter and merger. Now, if you're not in a hurry to build your base, I would actually go with this one first, so you could go ahead and make more of each thing to make this. But I feel like we'll get it going on here in a minute anyway, because we can go ahead and just start feeding some of this stuff in there. Try to get that on the lock. Oh, we got the rods done. We just need the concrete now. We've got 11 here. And right there. And you can also supplement that as well by grabbing out some concrete here that you put in the backlog. Hit this, and then, yeah, don't even have to hold it down. Awesome. Awesome. I did not know that. That is 1,000 Kiss Cats for being smart. There you go. I did not even know that. But then again, when U4 came out, I was not even paying attention to all of that. We went really fast in that one. We went way on to the next one before we even got to there. All right, so we made some concrete there. Maybe make some more. Oh, no, we have enough. We have enough now. And then turn that in, and there we go. All right, now we can start on our base. Now what it does is you put the stuff in the ship, and the ship flies up to the space station or ship or whatever's up there, and basically gives it resources.
Provide a grid for more advanced organizing and sectioning of your factory.
Now the second I get to this, everybody, this whole entire base has got to go. The whole entire base got to go. Now, probably don't need to take out the extractor. But the whole entire thing now got to go. And you'll see me do this multiple times in my playthrough where I will literally tear the entire factory down and redo it. Now, in this particular factory, we are going to try to think ahead in the fact that we're going to basically go in and make the factory expandable ahead of time. Before we get too far into it, we will definitely do that. Now, what I do is I always create what I call the Rosetta Stone of foundations. And usually it's based on my first node. So we're going to base it on this node right here. And we're going to take all this stuff out here. In fact, we'll even take our hub out at this point. And now, look, we've got too much stuff dropped in a box. No worries, we'll come back to that in a moment. Now, what we want to do is we want to use the bit of concrete that we have left, wherever it is. Let me sort through all this. I don't have any on me. Awesome. I don't have any concrete at all? No. Really? No, right there. Okay. I want to go ahead and use my concrete. Now, what I'm going to do is go right here to foundations. We're going to just roll over these so we can see them. Now, I always start with the 4mm ones when at the ground level. That's just the way I like to play. But I'm actually going to attach this to my bar down there at the bottom. And I'm actually going to remove this number 1. I never use the poles. I only use the power connector. And if I need a power pole, I use the power connector first, and then, or the power line, and then it will automatically sense that I want to make a power pole. So there's really no reason to have that on your bar. The thing you need to have on your bar is number 1, bam, is foundation, because you're going to make a crazy ton of those. That is for sure. Now, we're going to try out our zooping feature here, because this game is zooping awesome. And we're going to try to just kind of first build this out and see if we like that foundation level first. Before you get too far into it, what the heck was that? Whoa, that was a little weird. Went up there. There we go. What we want to do is just take a look at how we're going to do our foundations here. And just start with some basic building. Like this. And then we'll also go ahead and build some out this way. Oh, out of concrete. All right, hold on. Let's just take this one out over here. And we'll get this one. We'll take this one out. And there we go. Now, the first thing I'm working on, of course, is my node. Now, you can actually put your node down. Now, the thing you want to watch is this over here on the side. You're going to see all these little rivets. There's one about halfway down if you get above that point of halfway down, it sometimes does not let you put your extractor up here. Now, you're like, well, Kismet, there's no hole in the thing to make the extractor and all that. Just RP in yourself, everybody. You're still working on the game. RP in the rest. Now, I need 10 concrete to make that item. So I'm going to go ahead and take out some more of these and just try to get it to the point where I can actually just put down that extractor right there. Now, what I try to do is I try to center my starting point off this extractor, right? And then this will be the center of everything. And if it doesn't align perfectly to everything else, oh well. But my first one, I try to get it just right as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a look at how it's sitting on the thing, right? It's sitting okay. I feel like it could be back a little bit more, maybe forward a little bit more. It could sit on there a little bit better in the way that I have my foundations. Now I'm going to go ahead and take these ones out here on the side because I don't need those. You can see all I really need is these ones down the middle, like that. And so I can go ahead and say, okay, how can I fine-tune this? So one, this is centered off of this, right? So I can back up a bit. I can get this out of my face, hopefully. And try to lower this down. And try to lower this down into the thing. Now, there's no vertical lifting of your stuff. It's based on the terrain. So you have to kind of get the terrain the way you want it to be, or use the terrain how you want it to be to get it going. So we're going to go ahead and take this out, and we have a general idea that we want to move that over just a little bit. And so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and take that out, just visualize it in my head, and watch as it snaps to the one that's already there. Take that one out. And now, once I do it, it'll no longer snap. And so I want to start this one way back over here, but that's going to be a little bit too tall because I can see the rivets about halfway. So let's move it forward again. Try to sink it down in there a little bit. We want to go a little bit left, maybe come out a little bit like this. Take a little bit of a guess, go with that, and just build the one right down the center. And again, bring our smelter back in. Now again, it's really depending on which direction you want to go. Now let's see how much I screwed that up. And I say now it's a little bit even more over this way. So I moved it actually the other way, which I meant to move it this way. So it's not perfectly aligned. Now you don't have to spend all your time doing this, everybody. This is just me being super picky, because I know that once I put that down, that's how it's going to be. Because I will never have to adjust this again, other than to upgrade them to faster extractors. But the way that the foundations are going to be set in stone once I decide what I want there. Now, one of the things that I notice is that the end of this here ends about right here, and that's what I want to do. I want this one here to be up here. Now, how can I get that going on? Well, what I can do is just use a guide, and that means I'm going to make one of these over here. And it's hard to see what I'm doing. Later on, you got the ability to fly, but darn bushes are in my way. And that's how I'm just going to go ahead and take one, just do this. And then I'm going to look at how it lines up to the back of there. Say, oh, it's not quite how I want it to be. I should have left some of these bushes so I could use my chainsaw. Get rid of this out of here, but no worries. We'll fix that later. And then again, I'm just going to eyeball on how that lines up. Let's say something like that. Oh, or not. Whatever you feel like doing, Gabe. Go ahead, put it down. I believe in you. There you go. And that was not even close. That totally threw me off. Like rotated too. Stop rotating my stuff. And then let's just try to eyeball it like this. Where we're looking directly at the extractor and whatnot. Now, one of the things that happens is this. Where your stuff is rotated. And it's really based on how you're looking at the item. Right? The way you're walking, it affects how that is as well. So you really just want to line it up and then a little left, a little right. You might want to go in also and pick that up. Rotate it a little bit. Like this, even though it doesn't look straight to you, you know it's going to be more straight to it just because you know you needed to rotate it. That's pretty close. That's pretty good there. So I'm just going to use this as a kind of remembering exactly where I want that to be. Now, I also want to remember that I want to go a little bit further than this one. So now I'm going to do the same thing, except for I'm going to use these as a reference. So I'm going to use this one as a reference. So I know that I want this to go this way, but a little bit over to the left. Maybe a little bit more. And then back this out a little bit like this. And then put that down and then look at it, right? Does it look offset to the right? It does. Does this one look like it's lined up to the back there? Pretty well lined up. I like that. Now again, I could try to go in and line it up a different way. But I know that the extractor, I'm going to want to go this way. And actually, I'm going to use this whole entire space here for making iron ingots. And I know I'm going to do the same thing on that side because I've done it before. But I want it to be up high enough to where it's going to cover all of this space over here as well. So before you get too far into it, you might want to go ahead and test a little bit of that. So let's take this out go like this, and we'll run this way a bit. And see if we got this perfectly covered. GG. Looks great. All right. Now, I can also make it up higher so that I can get over the bushes and stuff. It's weird that you can't take out these bushes with your chainsaw. Normally, that's a thing that you can do. Once you have the chainsaw, you can just take all this out. But, hey, I got some leaves. All right, awesome. Boom. Oh, the leaves did not take those out. I'm going to have to use some explosives on those later. Yes, you do have explosives in this game. We'll have to work on that, because I hate stuff coming through my foundations. You know what's really bad about that? Fallout 4, man. I hate Fallout 4's clipping system. All right, I don't like stuff to clip. All right, there we go. Now, again, all this is just to make it look nice, everybody, in the long run. It is not necessary to do this, but it is awesome when you do it. Oh, wrong thing. And again, there it is. Oh, a little too far. A little overcompensation there. Hate that thing. All right. And so, yeah, now back the other direction. So here we go again. So this out, this one out. And then, once again, pulling that roughly to where we had it before. Eyeballing it, little nudge right. Let's try that. And only a crazy person or somebody who's really obsessed would spend so much time trying to... Now, a little too far to the right again. Trying to maximize the look of how your thing is to get started. But, you know, it's a fun thing to do, I find. And that's just trying to find that perfect little spot for your extractor. And this is, oh, that's looking pretty nice. Looking pretty nice. Man, just a little too much left there. Man, that was super close, though. Super close on that one. I'm kind of eyeballing two things back, which is that as well. Put that out. And then a little bit right. Maybe I'll just... angle it a little right. And let's go with that. I think that's getting pretty close. Now it's a little bit further the other way. Now you can do this for hours, everybody, but the back of that's looking perfect. And the front of this is looking good. Now you don't have to be as meticulous as me, but I'm going to call that pretty good right there. And I like that, so we're going to go with it. Now I'm going to go ahead and frame out around the outer edge of it. Like this, and we are off and running. Now, the main thing that we need, though, is we need concrete, and we need power, and we need all of that stuff. And this is why you always want to keep your concrete going constantly, as well as you want to have a nice crafting bench to keep your stuff going as well. So what I really need is I need concrete. So let's go ahead and make a bunch more concrete. And I usually keep a workbench and a workshop by my extractors. So I don't have to run back to my hub every single time. Now, my hub is actually not going to eventually be on the ground level. My hub will actually be up at the top level because this is going to go vertical here in a minute, baby. We're going to go straight vertical because you only got so much room. Now, I can actually build out way out that way if I want, out into the open air because there's no gravity in this thing. So it's not like it's going to fall down if you do it. But I'm going to go ahead and just build out my hub again on a nice foundation here. Again, I wish I could take these trees out. Something funky about the trees. And we're just going to go ahead. Oh, there he goes. Cool. And then we're going to go ahead and build out our hub again. So let's make sure we get... this is the crate, and this is what I've got. So I got the hub on me. And then we'll go ahead and build out our hub. Now, again, it's like the process of building and then building again and so on. And I'm going to turn my power back this way. And can we move this forward just a bit? I think we can. Let's say like that. Yeah, see, it automatically adds the legs there when you have that in there. And what it's going to do is it's going to redo the exclamation points whenever you take this out. So you just click on it all and do something like that. We'll put our biomass in there. We'll clear out all of this random stuff that we have on us here. Chainsaw. It doesn't matter what it is. Just get it off of you right now so you can go ahead and pick up this thing so it doesn't get lost in all of your stuff. All right. Now, we've got that going. Now, again, the number one thing that I need going is my concrete. I need that to constantly be running all the time so I can keep building out foundations and keep building out my base. In fact, we need to scale that up first. That'll be the first thing I scale up to make it go faster. As you can see, I'm out of concrete. But I do have a bunch here on the line that I can actually literally walk over here. Just hit E to pick up. You can walk up the line, pick it up a little faster. Instead of waiting for it to come down. Look. That's the old school way of doing that. All right. And so let's go ahead and build our way out to our concrete thing right over here. And we're going to start with our very first kind of semi-permanent box location where we have our box right there. Now, they have added signs, everybody. I can't wait to put concrete. Oh, I think it should have a built-in sign, though, where you can just, it automatically knows what's in there and then just says concrete, or you can change it and make it your own name. I feel like that would be way better than have to make a sign and put a sign on there. It would be already built in. Well, that's just me and my crazy ideas, everybody. You know how it goes. All right, let's reattach this now. And we're going to attach it up here. And that literally is just going to go to there. Now, we need to get our power grid back up and running, so we're going to go ahead and grab some power up there eventually. Once we get some cable out of here. Oh, there we go. And we're going to grab that power from up there. Come on. Here we go. And we're going to run it right over to here. Oh, I need more wire. Get my wire out of here. And we'll reorganize our inventory there in a minute. Now I want to put it right over here so I can connect all this together. Maybe right there. And then reconnect all of these into here. Re-click these like this. And then go get our biofuel in here. Because, man, we got a ton of that now. Because, again, the chainsaw is your jam in the very beginning. Get that chainsaw as quick as possible. And then, guess what? GG. Get both of those going. And now you're off and running. Now, I'm actually not going to build anything right here. Because this is actually going to run that way. And I'm going to have a bunch of stuff along the side there that's building various different materials. And then it will circle its way back and then end up next to my hub. Much like this, so I'll have different resources to use. Now you're going to see that start to come down the line over there, and we're going to boost all of that in a bit. But also what I want to do back here is actually produce some power, because we've added biomass burners in here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add one biomass burner right here, and I like to kind of turn it so that it's kind of like one goes that way, like that, and then actually let's move this over a little bit. Let's go ahead and put one maybe like this. And then we need to put one. Maybe like that. All right. So now we want to go ahead and do the same thing here. We want to have all these powered into the power grid. Actually, probably give it its own line. We're going to add more of this later on. There we go. Let's build it in between here. And it's clipping. Clipping through there. We need more concrete. Alright, and this is how your base begins, everybody. Just little by little. There we go. And again, we'll try to sneak that in between. We'll put that other one back in later. And now we got both of these. Now, when we did both of these versus these. Now, I actually will stop using these, right? These are producing 20, which sucks. So I'm going to take that out of there. And that's going to cause my production to go off. It's going to burn up the rest of that biofuel. And then it's going to go... Wait for it. Let's wait for it. Are you building what supports this time, or space age floating Foundation, space age. I'm not doing foundation. Foundation take way too long. I only have so much time in the day, and doing foundations is like 10 times harder. It just takes 10 times the amount of time to put foundations and everything. So yeah, not doing that. All right, so we went ahead and stopped that from working, and now what we're going to do is we're going to use these. Now these produce 30 instead of 20, and they actually are going to run for a longer amount of time, or will give me more power for the amount of time that they run. That's probably a better way of putting that. And we're going to go ahead and stack this to 200. We're going to put them in here, and now we're going to get that going. So that is now 30 power. And then over here, we are going to now have 60 power. So we've just updated our power grid and whatnot. Now we're going to take this one out. We no longer need that one. We're going to use this as our central power line. And that one's going to go up there, which is also going to chain over here. Now, we don't really need this one to run back like that now, because we can just go ahead and clean up our power grid a little bit and do a little bit of that. All right, now, again, all of that now is going to power up. We look at our overall power consumption versus our production. Right now, we're at 60 megawatts of power that we're producing, and we are only using really low amount right now, 17, as everything gets back up and running. Now, I also want to, again, get as much concrete as I can. So we want to go up here and look at our concrete extraction and get that going. But before we do that, let's go ahead and choose our next one, because we're going to need this next upgrade, our logistics, to make that happen. So let's go ahead and put everything we got in there for now, like so. So we're going to need more plates and more rods. So plates and rods actually are going to be more important, so I can get the upgrade, so I can then upgrade the concrete. So let's go ahead and then once again get over here and look at the logistics of our thing. Now we can start thinking ahead, everybody. What I'm going to do here is this is just going to be smelting in the beginning to get that going. Now again, I wish I could get rid of these plants. That would be nice. I actually probably could get this sulfur over here. Maybe make some explosives to get rid of those plants. There we go. Now, we're going to get into zooping here when we get a bunch of concrete fired up. We'll let our concrete run for a while. Now, by the way, this is, again, going to run. It's doing 10 per minute, which means it uses 200, which means it's going to be about 20 minutes, right? So 20 minutes of runtime we'll have on that. So that's 20 minutes of something else we could be doing while we're waiting. Now, I'm also going to go ahead and create a separate power line over here. And you can see we've maxed all of our power lines into that node. We're going to go ahead and use a separate power line for both of these other things here. So we're going to go ahead and say one here. Oh, I'm out of rods again. Do I have enough to make a bench? Nope. I got to readjust my inventory. Okay, let's get all the stuff we need out, like the chainsaw. And put all this stuff we don't need back away. We can go ahead and use some of this up. We'll use that. We'll get our wire. We'll get our plates thing there. A little bit of concrete. We'll sort that. That away. And this away. And there we go. Now we got a bit of the stuff that we need. And then the stuff we don't need, we've kind of put away for right now. We're going to get into some more production here in a bit. Getting that going. But really, number one thing, concrete. Keep that concrete going at all times. Get that powered in. And then you're off and running. We're also going to need some plates. Don't see any more plates in there. All right, so we've got to get going on our plates over here. But first, we're going to go ahead and create a crafting bench. What? I don't have no plates at all? No plates and no rods at all. Okay. Wow. No worries. We got this. Still holding it down. Don't have to hold it down anymore. I think I kind of do remember that from Update 4. Didn't they do that like during the Christmas update? There you go. The best part of watching others play Satisfactory is see how differently we do things. Exactly. That's my favorite thing is to how different people think. And that's why I do commentary here on the stream, by the way, so you guys can hear how I'm thinking my way through some problem solving. And I feel like that's the biggest mistake. Hey, Soggy Waffles, thank you very much for the follow. I feel like that's the biggest mistake that some people do, is that they're playing the game, and then they're doing a bunch of stuff, and then the people who are watching miss out on the stuff. I'm like, whoa, that was cool. How did you do that? They're like, Google it. I'm like, wow, that's super rude. That's super rude. I'm never watching your stream again. I've actually had people do that. I was like, okay, whatever, bro. I'm just here to watch your stream and wanted to learn what you did there. I thought it was pretty cool. But if you want to be an a-hole about it, so never feel bad about asking questions over here, everybody. You can ask me all you want. Hey, Kismet, how did you do that? Kismet, what did you do to do this? What's your suggestion on making this and that and the other thing? Right? I never mind. I feel like it's really rude to do that to peeps. And whatnot. And again, this is going to drive me crazy having all of this stuff in my way. But all right, we got to go ahead and make, again, our crafting bench. And let's just go ahead and put it right out here and just block this back of this because I'm not going to use it. Same thing with my workbench. Right there. Nice and close to the back so I can find it. And I don't have to run in every time. And so we're going to start with the smelters. Now, our smelters right here, what we're going to do is we're going to think in terms of what our max is right now, right? What's our max smelting right now? Which is 120 ore. So we take 30 and we divide it by 120 because its input is 30. Hey, Siri, what's 120 divided by 30?
120 divided by 30 is 4.
It's 4. Now, I already knew that answer, everybody, but I'm just going to walk you down the road. So what I want to do is I actually want to think about how the output of my smelters are going to be. Not the input, but the output. I want to go this way. And the reason why I want them to go this way is eventually I'm going to have a bunch of constructors over on that side that are going to be used. Or I will put the constructors up above. And most likely I'll put them up above. But I want to have all my cool lifters here. And really it's how you like to design your base. So first thing I'm going to do is go in and do a bit of this. Now, they've actually made this where you can go ahead and try to straighten this out and do all of that. But it's going to be based on how you have your original thing here. And this is just a little bit off from that. And that happens. It's okay. But what you want to do is you want to try to fix that by first doing a little bit of self-torture here by making it not perfect. And then doing it a little bit more perfect. And then a little bit more perfect by going out and trying to square this out off of there. And then back by 2. And then like this. Now what I would do is also take this back out. I don't like to leave little segments like that. I never like to leave little segments. That drives me insane. Because if you upgrade it later, you might miss one of those little segments and then you're in trouble. So I'll go ahead and line this up like so. 1, 2, back. And then you're going to get yourself not quite a 90 there because it isn't perfectly lined up. But this part over here is going to start going 90 and looking nice and running nice along that edge. And let's see, we need more concrete and more plates. So let's get over here, get more of our concrete. Why does it seem like... Oh, I took the power line out. I got to put the power line back in. Why is there no concrete in there? There we go. All right. That's going to start that back up. Again, never let that stop. I failed at keeping that going. And then back here, we're going to go ahead and do our smelters. Now, we're going to come back and optimize all this. But I do want to leave the ability for me just to keep add more and more smelters along the way here. And I want to kind of see how I want this to do. Maybe sit back. Start there. Yeah, that's looking somewhat good. Maybe even back a little bit more onto this one. Yeah, a little bit more back that way. And I don't mind making stuff in the very beginning. Eventually, you're going to have this all automated. Especially, I have a bunch of pure nodes, everybody. So I'm going to be maxing these pure modes out. And I'll be making a tremendous amount of everything here in a minute. Let's go ahead and put that down. And I kind of feel like I want to go back. Maybe one more. And then run it along there. Just give me a little extra room there. Let's go get some more concrete. Still working its way down this incredibly slow line here. I can go get it. Manual grab. I also go in here, and if it's backlog, I can grab it out of there. Now, this is producing way more than that's doing. But again, it also makes a nice little shortcut if you don't want to fall to your death. It's a nice little shortcut getting up there and getting down. All right, back around this way. Let's get our smelter back just a little bit more. I'm going to say. Figuring out where you want stuff is usually the hardest part. A little bit forward. There we go. All right, then we'll go ahead and run our line. More plates we need. All right. Now I'm also going to go ahead and bring the power over from over here. That's why I rearranged that power there over here. And actually, we'll put it over here. Right there. We'll go ahead and get our extractor kind of fired up. Get it going because it takes a minute for it to get going. And it's going to start running resources down the line there while we're working on this. Good to have multiple things going at the same time. Run that to, let's say there. Normally I don't like stuff clipping. See, I don't like that. Nope, nope, nope. I can't take those rocks out. Some rocks you can take out, by the way, but not all of them. And so we'll do something like that. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and just kind of do it reversely here. We go back one, and then we'll turn it. Then we'll line it up. Whoop, line it up. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a back angle here. Nice. All right. Into there it goes. And then we're making iron ingots. And then another power over here. And we'll bring this power forward to here. And you can probably guess what we're going to do, everybody, especially if you've already played the game before. But we're going to get back to making our plates now because we're going to start running out of resources and whatnot. And we want to go ahead and just line this up nicely. And I'm going to put it really super close here because this one's just going to go in and start making me some plates now. And I'm going to start speeding up a little bit. Now, if I do something that you missed or whatever, like, how'd you do that thing? Feel free to ask in the chat. Now, this one is going to be solely dedicated to running out plates. Now, those plates are then going to run along here, and I need more concrete. Definitely need to boost my concrete production. Grab that. And then this one's going to solely come out of here and go into some storage. I'm going to put in right here eventually. Right now, I like to keep my storage at least one back in the start, and then actually eventually I'll put it two back from the start. So let's go ahead and just try to sneak one in over here for our logistics. Need more plates. Now, the whole purpose, I feel, of the beginning of the game is to make you stuff and put it right next to your hub. That's what I feel like it is, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go right here and go right into here, right? Oh, it'd help if I had it going the right direction, though. That would help. Let's go ahead and get that going in there again. Turn it the right direction. There we go. Maybe a little bit forward. We'll fix all that later. Come in here and then try to put that in there. I need 15 plates to do it. Well, guess what? It's making the plates for me, so I can just pull them out of here now, and I don't have to make them manually anymore. And then we'll just go ahead and run that into there, and that will now endlessly make our plates until, or at least for 20 minutes or so, until we run out of biomass. Now, the problem is we need a lot of power, and to do that power, we're going to need the ability to create biomass and then take the biomass and put it in there. Now, we have to manually put it in there every single time, so it's not perpetual. That's why we want to get to oil power so it becomes perpetual, and we can go ahead and get that going on. And again, I feel like we're going to run long here just so, because we're having a fun time, so we're going to get that going on. First time checking you out live. I restarted about 3 times from spaghetti. Thanks for starting from scratch, following and taking notes. Once copper gets mixed with aluminum, I get all over the place. I'm the same way, Soggy. If you see my other base, it was full of spaghetti, and I was going through and explaining how to optimize it and actually build massive upgrades, like 10 times the size of your base. Now, in this particular base, what we're going to do is we're going to start from the beginning, but we're going to leave room to expand, right? So that's why you see me have this turn this way, so I can add more smelters and more smelters. And this is a pure node, everybody. Now, if you have a pure node, you're actually going to be able to produce more resources than you're ever going to be able to put on a belt. Ever. because you don't have a belt that's fast enough to run out that much resources. If you boost this one, right, even if you have the tier 5 one, which is 780, it actually will come out of there at 1200. And you can't do 1200. 1200, you cannot run it on a belt. The fastest you can run on a belt is 780. And even the lifter is 780. So you can never, you'll never be able to get that much out unless they add a belt that is 1200. Maybe they will one day. Maybe they will. That would be awesome if they did, because that would then match up to the max speed of your thing. Now, I don't know if they've thought that far or they've going to add that one day, but it would be awesome if they did. Now, again, this is already extracting at a rate of 120, and we can actually make 4 of these smelters in a row and produce all this stuff over here. But what we want to do is probably progress first so we can use our splitters and mergers and all of that stuff, which we're going to need. So let's go ahead and use some of our plates in here, some of our rods, and just literally sit here. Now that we know we can just press spacebar and just kind of manually click that and let it run. Print the spacebar and let that run, and then we're going to make some more. And again, I just learned that myself, that you can just press the spacebar. I'd forgotten that you don't have to hold it down. I'm so used to doing it over all the years that we're going to just let that run. Now we're going to let that run while we do a battle, and we'll come right back. To battle! Now, always my goal in my playthrough is to get to a point of perpetual power, where it is taking care of the power, and it's running that perpetual power, and I don't have to worry about it, right? That's really where we want to get. Now, we're going to try to go in stages and build it up and scale it up in a big way very early game. And so we can do another 160 coal plants maybe, or another bunch of power that'll give us the freedom to scale up all this stuff as we go. And we want to leave room for scaling up. We can always tear the whole thing down and redo it. It's okay. Even if you have a spaghetti base, later on you can just tear the whole thing down, redo it all, and then you have tons of resources to get that done. Why am I stuck up there in that corner? I'm like glitched in that corner. Oh, that's going to cause us a loss. Oh no, a bunch of people only put 1 or 2 units down. Well, Kill Incorporated did his job, but all the rest of you there, oh man. That cost us that win. All right, let's try it again. Let's try it again. Come on, step it up, everybody. How many units do we have on that one? Let's see. It doesn't say. Why doesn't it say? Weird. It doesn't say how many units that was. I don't know. Not enough, obviously. Let's go ahead and try it again. Now, again, if I don't get enough participation in these battles, everybody, I will just say, okay, well, I guess you guys don't want to do any battles, then I'll stop doing them. Got to see that participation in there. All right, I'm going to try my take again. We'll give it another go. Let's go. All right, now we're going to have it make a bunch of plates here. Get that going. That's going to let us get going. There's a hard limit in the engine. Oh, well, there you go, Susumu. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what the limit is there for. I'm sure they'll come out with an update for it eventually, but for now, we'll go with what we got. All right, and then we'll do some rods as well. We don't want to neglect having our rods here. Probably want to make more rods than we want to make plates, since we're already making plates out there. All right, there we go. Now we got a little bit of rods, a little bit of plates, but is it enough to do our upgrade? Let's go see. Oh, it's getting close. Getting close. Now, one of the funny things that you can do while you're waiting for all this stuff to get there is you can go ahead and grab some more plates there. That's nice and easy. It's done that for us, so turn those in. And you can go back here and see if this is overfilling this, which it's not doing right now. It is not overfilling this, which means that it is, it basically is going to have a few of them in here, but it's not making enough of them to the point in which it has extra. And eventually you want to get to that stage where you're making a bunch of extra stuff just in case you need it for other things. But we got a little bit there. How many more rods we need? About 20 more rods. So we need some more raw iron. Now, another thing that's going to happen as you're starting the game or as you're reworking your base is you're going to end up with a bunch of extra iron and stuff that in here, right? You can see I've got a bunch of extra iron ore. So I could put it in there and have it convert it. Where am I going? Over here. But I can just go ahead and convert it myself, and now that we know that you just don't have to hold down the spacebar, we can just go ahead and convert it in there and just try to get rid of this extra stuff. Now, later on, you get something else called the Awesome Sink, which is great to get rid of all these extra resources. You can always get these resources again. You can always, because it has an infinite extraction. It's not like you get rid of it and then you run out. It has an infinite extraction amount. So you can always come back and get more iron ore, get more copper, or whatever it is. So there's no reason to hold a whole box. I've learned over the many playthroughs I've done, there's no reason to hold a whole box of raw iron ore. Because you can literally just go to the node, put down, you can even put down a non-powered one, just a extractor, one of your things right here, your portable miners, put that down and just do it that way too, without any power at all. And sometimes it's good to have that as a backup in the beginning of the game. If you don't do 3 of them like I did, you might just leave that one on there and let it extract, even if you are using the larger extractors later on. Just as a backup in case you lose power or something goes wrong and you don't have enough resources, whatever it is. Or you can just manually walk over there and hit E, and then it will pick it up as well. So let's go ahead and convert all of this extra, so it's not taking up our inventory. And it's nice when it does it itself. That's awesome. Yes, a set it and forget it crafting station. Hey, they stole that from me. They sold it from me. Yeah, I forgot that that was a thing. I think I probably remember that from the beginning of before, but I rarely make stuff in the later game. You rarely make stuff in here. It's usually doing all the automation for you. You only make the stuff like the first time, and then it will make all of it later on. So you don't spend too much time doing this. But I definitely want to do a whole bunch of rods here, and I only need about 30 more. So we'll make it do a bunch of those. And there we go. And now we're ready for our upgrade, which is going to give us our logistics, which is what we really need at this point.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to increase the complexity and efficiency of your factory. We encourage you to consider more verticality when it comes to factory logistics to streamline short-range transportation. The productivity display will help you measure and improve the productivity of individual buildings to aid with optimization.
Okay, so productivity display, our lifter, our merger, and our splitter. Now the reason why we need that is because we have 120 coming out of here, but we really only have 60. And you're like, well, Kismet, wait a minute, it says 120. What do you mean? Why is it only 60? It's only 60 because that's as fast as my belt goes. So that's as much as I can pull out of there right now. But guess what? I have a couple more nodes on the other side over there that I could use later on. But for right now, we just want to keep it simple and get in here and try to also do not only our plates, but also our rods. So we'll get in there and we'll go do that. And of course, our concrete is doing a fantastic job of working away over there. We got lots of concrete there, or at least a good amount to get us going. And then next in line, again, now we're trying to think ahead of time how we're going to build this out in the long run. Now, normally I would build my smelters at the bottom level, and then I would build my constructors at the next level, and then assemblers, and so on and so forth, in a very vertical way, because you're in kind of a cavern here. So you don't really have like that kind of wide angle space. Now, I could just go up as high as I possibly want, and then just build out in a big wide way, and then I'd have an infinite amount of space. But we're going to try to just kind of compartmentalizing it. Oh, my brain. We're going to compartmentalize it. Compartmentalize it. We're going to make it into separate factories. There you go. We're going to make it into separate little factories, and then we're going to run them all to a central spot. You get the idea. Oh, sleep apnea sucks, everybody. It really does. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and just actually center this one like this. Oh, and we need more rods. All right, man, we need to get our rods going. If you constantly are out of something, everybody, that's the one you really need to get going. And that's the one we'll get going next. There we go. All right, we'll make some of that. And now we're ready for another smelter. Now this smelter I'm going to put right in the center because there's actually a cool thing that happens with these foundations. And that is, oh, let's try some zooping. Let's try some zooping, everybody. Here we go. Zoopy time. Grab this. Now, how do we zoop? Don't tell me. Don't do it. Don't tell me. How do we do it? Do we unlock it as we go? Or does you hold it down? You hit a button. Build. Left mouse button. Sample building. Rotate. Toggle build mode. Oh, toggle build mode. All right. Zoop! Oh, God, this game is so freaking awesome. I mean, it's already the foundation building in this game and the building in this game is second to none. No game ever builds better than this game. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, no game. I've seen them all, everybody. I've played for hundreds of thousands of hours across all the last 50 years of gaming. And I can tell you, none builds as great as this, and it only builds even better now. Look at that. Bam, we can put a whole bunch of them in. Oh, this is so, I've been so waiting for this feature. It is awesome. It is so fantastic. If you're a builder, you should be crying right now. You should be crying that is so awesome and so fast. It was already pretty fast and amazing the way it was before, but the zooping, oh man, I just know I'm going to use a ton of that. Absolutely love it. All right, let's keep going though. What do we need? Now we're producing a bunch of plates over here, so we're looking good. Producing concrete over there. We're still producing our copper way off there, way off in the distance. I think we got our power connected in. Yeah, no, it's over there doing its thing. All right, awesome. Doing its wire and all of that. And now what we want to do, of course, is finally use our splitters that we just unlocked, which are going to help us run this resource over here. Now I'm going to actually take this out right here. And now there's two ways of doing this, everybody. There's what I call the center split. And then there is, oh, this one needs to move up just a little bit. And then there is the inline splitting. Now, the inline splitting is actually the best space-wise. Now, I'm going to set this to 5 and number 6 because I know I'm going to use that a lot. Actually, I could probably set this to number 4 and number 5 because I know I'm not going to use that little thing that you put down very often. If I need it, I will go and just get it. Now, these splitters are fairly big in size, but what you can do is you can go ahead. This is a merger here. I think I did merger first. I meant to do splitter first. 4, and this would be 5. There we go. And what it's going to do is it's going to split the input, and the hardest thing is seeing the input. There we go. And aligning this so that it doesn't have the... Where the heck is the white... Oh, it doesn't have my white thing. How am I going to count? Oh, man. There's normally like a white outline around it that shows you how close it is to the other object. But they've added the ability to do what's known as hard and soft clearance. So the soft clearance means that I can actually go in and I can build stuff right in the zone of this right here. So say I want to build it just right over the top of it, I can do that now. You can also go in and actually run stuff right through the middle of stuff if you want. And I'll show you that right here. Again, that's called soft clearance. It works with conveyor belts. So I can actually run this right through the middle of this, and it will turn yellow saying, hey, this is going to do overlapping over others' clearance, clipping made it clearer, and I could actually run that right through the middle of that with soft clearance. Now, am I going to do that? Oh, absolutely not. I hate clipping. I try to avoid clipping if I can. But it is good to know that you can do that in the fact that you could go ahead and say run it right over the top of this and whatnot, and run it real close to your items like this. Of course, we would go in and fine tune it, but you can run it right through those empty zones that you have, because all that little parts in there, you could really, some people are going to really compact it down and do that. Now, I don't like to run it through stuff, so I'm not going to do that. But you're welcome to go ahead and do it in your playthrough. Now, what I'm going to do is put 2 splitters in a row here. Oh, God, I can't even jump up on my splitter. I can't even get on top of the splitter. And I'm going to run this into here. And then, oh, that is not aligned. See, that's what happens when you can't see your boxes. It's hard to align stuff. Grab this. Look for the green line. Where is my green line, bro? Get control. Get my green lines up. There we go. All right. Hope it's going in the right direction. Yes, it is. See the orange back here? The orange is telling you that's the input. Also, the 3 little lines mean input, and then the little arrow means output. Except for green arrow means output, except for on storages, it doesn't have a green arrow. I don't know why. I don't know why that's not a green arrow and it's a yellow arrow, but hey, that's how it goes. All right, so there we go. So now we got 2 smelters going at the same time. I feel pretty special now, all right? And we're going to go ahead and bring some more power. And again, we'll readjust all of our power setup later. Now look at that. You can run your power line nice and close. Get that one going. Now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and tell this what to be. We're going to make some more ironing this over here. And so now we have 30 going in this one and 30 going in this one. Now I actually have a illustration in Illustrator on how to do all of this, and we'll probably do that next time. I'll show you how to figure out the ratios and all of that. But for right now, we're just going to start with our basics. We need some more wire over here, our cable, brain. We're going to use our wire to make a bunch of cable. Again, it's way easier just to make it manually for right now. And we'll go in and we'll make that all make itself later on. Okay, now what we're going to need is we're going to need 2 of these, and I'm going to kind of offset them a little bit over here. Now, if I put it too close to this, I'm not going to be able to do my splitter, so the smarter thing to do is actually to go out and split this right away and give yourself a little bit of room, because you're going to actually need to go like this, out of this one into here, and for some reason this is not snapping well. Out of there, split into the first one, and then split into another one over here. And I've got this lined up so it's perfectly down the center, which you will find that your constructors actually perfectly match along that center line. I've got that pole in my way. I'll pull out now. And then I can go ahead and just run that right down the center line, and you'll see that it should just line up nicely. Your input and output directions are vitally important. Absolutely vitally important. Now you want to see the stuff coming out of there. There we go. And that's going to go into that one. Now the thing about this is it's going in at 30, coming out at 30. So it's 1 to 1, right? So 30 raw iron coming in, 30 iron ingots coming out. Now over here, this one only needs 15 to do iron rods. So that means that we can do 2 of these for the same one, right? So we're going to be producing twice the amount of rods, and we're going to be producing a crazy amount of rods here at some point. Weird snapping going on. Definitely they need to work on their snapping. What the heck? What's going on with the snapping today? Something funky going on with the snapping. Look how that does not line up. Why is it auto-rotating it? Holding down control, it's making it go. Look, even if I rotate it, it doesn't put. There we go. I want to put the input on this side, but it's like doing weird stuff there. Normally, what happens when you put it close to something, it'll snap in there correctly. Okay, this is really odd. Okay, that's got to be fixed. Again, this is experimental, everybody. They are still working on it, but look how it doesn't look like it lines up. It probably does, though. Let's just put it in there and see if it lines up. It does. It just doesn't look like it lines up, and that definitely needs to be fixed, because that'll confuse people who are trying to do that. All right, and again, we're not getting our auto connector, our auto green line, so you have to hit Control to get those alignment lines in there. And then this one, iron rods. And this one, already iron rods. And there we go. And then we're going to need more power. So let's get our power redone. Now, one of the cool things I like about power is to put them right like this. I think that's like the coolest place to put power. Right on your splitter or merger, because it's right there. I feel like it should actually just snap to that. It's that fun. And there we go. So now we are producing that. Now what we want to do is we want to merge these back together so they're on a single line, because it's going to be producing 15 and 15, which is 30, which is way slower than our actual line that we're going to be producing, which is, look at that, you can snap that right in there, which is going to be 60 is the speed of our, it's really weird without the white around there, making it difficult for me to align that. We do what we got to do. Now this is what I call a center merge, right? Or you center split, or center merge. Now they're all going to go into one, and then over here I'm going to do some zooping. Zoop. Oh, I love that feature so much. You guys are so awesome at what they do. All right, we'll line those up. Down the line, eyeball it. Back by 2. There's a nice little 90 right in there. Ha-ha! And off we go. Now, while we were doing all of that, it's been burning through my resources over here. So let's see how we're doing. We're 94. Not bad. Now, at this point, now that I've got my concrete going, my plates going, my rods going, my copper going over there. We definitely need to work on our biofuel. And the biofuel is going to kind of be over here by itself, off to the side here, just so it ends up being right next to where we're producing our power. And we'll actually add more of these power things here eventually, like so. We'll go ahead again, do some zooping, zoopy zoop. And this is why I started over, everybody. I started over so I could see how useful zooping is at the very beginning of the game. And it is very useful, as you can see. Incredibly useful. And then we'll go ahead and put this, we'll put this over here. For copper going over there. We'll work on that copper and all that stuff here in a bit. All right. So that's looking good. We got our power. We got all this. Now, all your stuff doesn't have to be jammed together, everybody. I just put it together so I don't have to walk as far. But you have plenty of space. You got lots of space to do all of this stuff. But we definitely need to get our biofuel going. Now, there's going to be two types of biofuel, and then one of it's going to be the finished biofuel as well. Now, I want to go ahead and add another thing here, and I'm going to turn it this way. Eventually, we get to use signs. I need some rods. Eventually, we can go ahead and use signs to get those going. And let me get my plates out of there now. I got some rods. One of the things that I do early game is I do this. So I can see what's in there because there's no labels. I feel like it should just auto-label itself. It should just say plates. And it should just say rods. Right? Just like you see the displays when you do your power switch that they have now. I think it should just automatically say it instead of you making a sign and putting it on there. I think that would be a way better way of doing it. And then you could change it if you wanted to. If you wanted to call it mixed or call it concrete resources or, you know, input level 17 alpha 1493, you're welcome to label it whatever you want. But I feel like it should be built into the canister and not necessarily a separate object. But that's just me and my crazy ideas. Now, we need to look at what we need to do next. Some field research here, which isn't too bad. We actually got the stuff for all of that. Let's say we just get that going on right now. Oh, just a little bit, not enough screws there. All right, that should do it.
Milestone reached. The molecular analysis machine, referred to as the MAM, will allow R&D to provide new technologies, items, and buildings based on samples collected in the field. To ensure a greater chance of success during exploration, an upgraded tool belt has been provided, as well as an object scanner and beacons.
Okay, so now we got beacons.
The scanner requires calibration via the MAM to enable detection of specific objects.
Okay. You done, girl? All right, you done. We got more inventory slots, more hand slots, and we've also got tier 1 done. Now, again, we've already done obstacle clearing. Do that one right away, everybody. So can you unlock that? Then we're going to get into assemblers. We're going to get into jump pads. We're going to get into resource sink, and we're going to get into logistics. But what we really want is we want our space elevator because we want to get to space elevator phase 1. And once we get to phase 1, everybody, GG. Perpetual power. We're going to go find that coal. We're going to go and utilize that coal. We're going to power up that coal. So we get a lot of power, a lot of extraction of the coal itself. And you have to mix coal with water. And so you're going to need to also extract tons of water, tons of coal, make tons of power. Then you can make tons of factories. And then make more coal and more power and more factories and next level coal and unlock new stuff and so on and so forth and so on and so forth until you're just having the greatest time ever. And we're also going to try out vehicles and all that stuff as well. But we just want to get the basics going. Oh, we got some food. And also, I want to take a break to go get some food. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into battle mode. Now, battle mode is where you guys see the battles, but you don't necessarily see me. We got another 8 minutes left on our battle. So that's going to be it for Satisfactory today. I think that was an excellent start. We did that for about, how many hours? About 3 hours, and look how far we got, everybody. We already got here. We've got all of our stuff going. Now, of course, we also have the benefits of having pure nodes, so that's really going to help us a lot. Now, I play Satisfactory on Wednesdays each and every week, so we'll play some more next week. and we'll try to get to our next level, and we'll keep scaling it up and scaling it up, and you can kind of watch my progress as I go. All right, and I'll show you all my best Kismet tips on maximizing the beginning of the game, and then the middle, and then especially during the end when you want to make all your stuff look beautiful and have it all optimized and efficient, but also look incredible while you're building out those different factories. And we're going to try out all the new pieces, and we're going to try out all of that stuff as well as we go along. Now, I never rush it. You know, I still haven't done the particle accelerator. I still haven't done it because I haven't got to that stage yet. Maybe we'll get to that stage in this playthrough. You never know. You never know. But there we go. We brought that back, and now we've got that going. Oh, maybe we could do another one real quick. You know how it goes? Real quick, real quick. Let's see what else we got. Parts assembly. We definitely need to get that going. Jump pads I never use. Skin research sync bonus. The research sync I use a lot. Plus the awesome shop you're going to need. And then this I will use a lot as well. So, yeah, if I had to choose between those three, I would probably pick logistics 2. That would probably be the first one I would do. And look, I'm making the 3 other items I need, and I found a bunch of reinforced iron plates. So I'm not even making any reinforced iron plates, but I found some of them nearby, which makes that really easy to maybe just go GG and jump to that next stage. Now, when you go to that next stage, though, you will need a different resource instead of just it being plates and rods and stuff like that. You will need that higher level resource. You will need the reinforced iron plates to do the conveyor belts. So if we don't have that production already set up, probably not a best option. And of course, we'd want to set up all of this so we get our modular frames. We can open that thing up too. And so on. So we can go ahead and do jump pads. Again, all this other stuff. I would probably say maybe the resource sink. You know what? Let's do that. Let's go ahead and set that, and we'll do that next time when we come back. This way you guys won't miss out on all of that. We'll get up here on the top, and we're going to hit save, and we're going to say, do the sync, just to let us go. Let us know. All right, so that was on experimental, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some love, and I'm going to go get me some food because I'm hungry. I don't know if they got me some food. Maybe they got food just for them. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 caps for you guys. Let's also tell you a bit about the stream, everybody. There's my schedule right there. And I'll go ahead and pull it up right here for you. I go ahead and stream Tuesday through Thursday from 1 p.m. till about this time, 4, 5, I guess 6 p.m. today. Because this, God, Satisfactory is so fun, man. You just play it for endless hours, 20, 30, 40 hours a day. As many hours as you can fit in. Yeah, we played Satisfactory today. We're going to play some New World later. We're going to do a bunch of questing. We're going to be working on our rep and all of that fun stuff. And then on Thursday, we'll be back with some 76 for most of the day. And then Age of Empires 4, which is really fun. We're going to check that out. We're going to play that for about an hour. And then some level 45 expeditions. And then Saturday, the Alchemist quest, as well as help other members who need any level of quest for their faction. And you're going to see we're going to do all of that all week long. Now, of course, you guys can help out the stream way above and beyond by going in and showing some love on the social medias there. I'll go ahead and click those into the chat right there. You'll find those in the chat. Go to YouTube, hit subscribe. Go to Twitter, hit follow. Go to the Discord and the website there and check out more information about the stream, including all the stuff I have in my studio audience. You can introduce yourself to my community in there. Maybe even join us for some New World and put your name down on Answer the Call. Make sure you read the rules first. Hit that green check mark. You can find out more information on the Discord. You can also go above and beyond and support the stream by going to patreon.com/me, Kismet. And putting in, a few dollars to help out the stream. Know that 95% of what you put in on Patreon goes into the stream. So much more efficient use of those donations and whatnot, of those support, as well as 5% goes to fees. So there's nothing I can do about that. But I can put every penny back in the stream like I do. And a whole lot of my pennies and my wife's pennies as well, in the form of giveaways and other fun stuff we do like emotes and all of that. So great way to support the stream. Appreciate everybody who is over there helping out. I appreciate all my new Patreons, by the way. I'll be shouting you guys out coming next month at the end of every stream, and even at the end of segmented streams like this, where I do different segments, and then I go into battle mode, and I'll shout you out twice. So I shout you out at the end of this stream, and then also shout you out at nighttime as well on that stream. All right, and then Shimui, Shibui, yeah, the Shibui and Riptide Frog, thank you very much for the follows as well. Thank you everybody for getting on the Kismet Love Train today, for showing that love here in the stream, for helping boost in the stream as well. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into a special mode, and that mode is called Battle Mode. That battle mode is going to allow you to continue to do battles all day long. I'm going to do like 9 hours of battles. I know, crazy, right? Until I come back again at 10 p.m. and this, which you'll see me just suddenly reappear. And then we'll go ahead and play some New World. All right, so I'm really going to stream for 13, 14 hours all day long. But I got to work on stuff behind the scenes. I got to eat dinner. I got to check on the family. You know how it goes. Do all of those behind the scenes stuff that you never see. The hundreds and hundreds of hours I spend every month doing all of that stuff. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Now, again, thanks everybody for being here. I will be back here in how many hours? In about 4 hours. So we'll be back in about 4 hours, but we're going to do battles. So stick around. Join us for some battles. Put down as many units as you can. More units you put down, the more loot you get. All right? So we'll see y'all later. See you at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye, everybody. Hey everybody, Kismet here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right in the center of the screen. Also check me out live on twitch.tv/Kismet. I'll see you all next time.